What is up, everyone, and welcome to the WAN Show. We've got a great show lined up for you guys today. Google has been found liable for false information provided by AI Overview. This is in Germany, so it might not necessarily be helpful to everyone, but it is a step towards holding big tech accountable for the false information that it propagates with its, let's call them sophisticated and yet foundationally flawed AI technology. In other news, speaking of flawed technology, Donut Labs' solid-state battery has been exposed as a regular lithium ion thanks to some incredible work from one of our fellow YouTubers who I hate it when people do this. Whose name I'm actually going to use, unlike the way that people usually cite YouTubers, Ziroth. Fantastic video. We're going to be talking about it a little bit later. No, don't you hate that, Luke? When the headline of a traditional media article is, YouTuber does this.
Yeah.
YouTuber has a name. What else we got this week?
You can just tell the Instagram algorithm what you want now, which is actually kind of interesting. And this is sounds really fantastic on the surface and is kind of, but is also terrifying. A Florida hospital is using Palantir to catch sepsis earlier, and it saved 886 lives so far.
So is this one of those cases where, like, even a broken clock is right twice a day? Palantir did something that we're supportive of?
Well, let's get more into it.
The show is brought to you today by Odoo, OpManager Nexus, Squarespace, and server parts deals, alongside dbrand, our wrap partner, Razer, our laptop partner, and also Razer, that logo is supposed to be visible, I think. Our chair partner. I'll be getting to this a little bit later. This is super cool, but it will come later. All right, why don't we jump right into our headline topic, which is that Google has been found liable for false information provided by AI Overview. In a potential landmark case, the Regional Court of Munich has ruled that Google, if they're going to, have their product spit out an output based on all of the data that they ingested, some of it legally, some of it seems we're still questioning the legality of it, they're accountable for what it says, which, maybe is a good thing. The same way that newspapers were accountable for what they printed and, radio shows are accountable for what they say. Well, Google's AI is also accountable. Yeah, if you're a mass media outlet and you reach literally millions of people, you should have some accountability for having there be a factual basis to the things that are being propagated.
Sure, I just don't know how often that actually applies. It applied to what's his name?
You're not going to bring up Alex. You are. Okay, that's where you're going with it. Well, yeah, I mean, it relies on somebody to actually hold you accountable to it in many cases, but there is a basis but there is an expectation that if you are spreading information, that you are responsible for the accuracy of it. The case was initially brought by two German publishing companies after Google's AI Overview presented information about them combined with that of shady companies and online scams, and then drew information that didn't appear in any of the linked sources. Which, I mean, Luke, have you ever experienced that with Google's AI Overview where it goes, blah, 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 this thing, citation, and then you click it? Completely not in there.
Citations by AIs are pretty sketchy in general, but this does line up. This was pointed out by Floatplane chat as well, but I think I lost the message. But this does line up with other things. There's customer support chat bots where what they say has been held as fact, So the customer support chatbot offers you something, and the company is held to follow through with it. Did I just see it? I thought I just saw it. Darn it. So somebody in chat pointed out, I think it was Air Canada. Yeah, Paige in chat said Air Canada was already held liable for something incorrect their support chatbot said. And I think there was other companies as well, not just Air Canada. So
Google...
Yeah, it kind of follows other things.
Google pulled the classic defense of, well, users can fact check for themselves, and they do plan to appeal the ruling, with a spokesperson saying, this case focuses on specific and narrow errors, not the foundational way that AI overviews display web content. Right, but these specific and narrow errors are inherent to the way that foundationally AI overviews seem to work, at least at this stage in the game. Like, these hallucinations are not new. They're not an unknown. And to Google's credit, they do say in AI overviews that, you know, AI can make errors and that you need to check it or whatever. But like, I think there's still if we all know, right? It's kind of like it's like what went down with end user license agreements, right? Like, you had these long, theoretically, legally binding documents. Everybody knew on both sides, the companies writing these end user license agreements, the people signing them. Everybody knew that nobody was reading them. So when push came to shove, it was ultimately found that if someone was not actually well informed and was not actually aware, then this stuff wasn't going to be binding. It didn't just absolve you of breaking a law. The fact that you wrote into your end user license agreement that you were like allowed to do it. So in the same way, if we know that people are trusting this stuff and that they're not noticing these errors and they're not actually doing the due diligence, then in my opinion, there's a certain responsibility on the companies that are putting this information, I'm going to put that in giant air quotes, putting this information out there to ensure that it is factual. And if it's not factual, who's accountable? Who's responsible? And yeah, Google's going to say the user. But like, I think Google knows probably better than just about anyone else that the user is just not going to do that work. Like, the entire premise of this feature is that we're just going to surface the information in an even more convenient manner because we know the user doesn't want to click through and read a bunch of stuff. That's the whole point. Yeah. So we have a few discussion questions here. First of all, should the AI pushers be allowed to use the public as their beta testers while they work out the kinks here? Is there a level, I'm going to clarify this, or I'm going to add a layer to this one. Is there a level of disclaimer that you would consider acceptable so that it could just spew misinformation like this? Like, how beta would it have to look and feel?
I'm trying to see what it looks like right now, just out of curiosity.
Sure.
It doesn't look like there's any flags whatsoever. So above the fold, I just Googled testing, and it gave me an AI overview of the word testing. And before clicking show more, there's nothing. It has the little Gemini icon. It says AI overview. There's the quick summary with its citations, some more information, more links on the right-hand side, but there's no indication that this isn't ready to go.
Yeah, I've got, I did the same thing just to make it a little bit easier for the people. So it's got a couple citations here that makes it look very credible. Yeah. I click show more.
Once you click show more, there's fine print at the very bottom that says AI can make mistakes, so double check responses.
Holy crap. I actually, do I have that? Am I missing it, guys? Am I missing something here?
It's on mine. It's right above where the chat input is, where you would type, just to the left of the like share, like, and dislike buttons.
Uh-huh. Am I guys, help me out here. I feel like I'm gaslighting myself because I was pretty sure there was a thing. I do not see it.
Whoa, I don't see it on yours. What the heck?
Mine has it. What? What the heck?
That's super weird. It's on my side.
Okay,
It doesn't always show.
People are asking if I have an ad blocker. I mean, it shouldn't do that, but like, what extensions do I have? I got nothing here, guys. Here's my extensions. What else we got here, guys? What else we got?
Do you want to open a private browsing tab and do the same thing?
I would like to do that very much. Okay. Blah, blah. There it is.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, so that's interesting. It also moved this interface over to the right.
Yeah, it's probably just reactive, but yeah.
It didn't need... Yeah, but it went all the way from left aligned to right aligned, though. Oh, no, it's not quite left aligned. Oh, you're right. Interesting. Is it even quite right aligned, though? You know what? No, I think...
Yeah, no, it's just buffered off on both of them.
Interesting. So it just didn't, for some reason, sometimes. I mean, man. Okay, so back to my question, then. What is the degree of disclaimer that would be acceptable to you? Obviously, what I encountered just there with no disclaimer. And this is Chrome. This is like the Chromest, Chrome-ass Chrome of Chrome browser. I don't even have any extensions or anything. Like, there is no excuse because I'm Googled all the way through the pipeline. So clearly that's not acceptable at all. And honestly, I don't even think the other version that I got in the incognito window, I think you and I could probably both agree that's not enough if it's going to be making like egregious errors like this.
Yeah.
So what's acceptable
fine
to you?
Print that you have to click show more to even see. Like, it's literally not like you can get results that are conclusive results and not see the disclaimer because you didn't click show more. You need to click another thing in order to get the disclaimer. It's like obviously not enough. I think it would need a pretty major badge. I don't look at the AI overview too often, so I wasn't really ready for this, but I was expecting it to, next where it shows the Gemini logo and AI overview, I was expecting a big, fat beta testing badge.
Right, so you want it like right here. Like AI overview, beta, results may contain factual errors and incorrect information. Check all cited links in order to verify before believing anything it says. Would that be enough for you?
I mean, I don't like the feature at all, but yeah, I think that would be enough for me. Someone in chat, Mini Catalyst, said, "Dumb user here. I didn't know it was in beta." I don't think that it is.
I don't think it's in. I haven't seen it. I don't see any indication on the feature that it's in beta.
Yeah, I just said beta because I don't know. That's the type of thing that I'm used to flagging, I guess.
Right.
Speaking for them. So yeah, like I guess don't flag it with beta, but some much more in-your-face thing saying that this information is, man, I'd like it to even say likely incorrect, because I catch the very few times that I've really used the AI overview on Google, it's wrong like a lot of the time. I don't know what model they're running, but it seems not sophisticated.
It's fast. Like it really does seem like they're running a pretty fast, pretty light, pretty not thorough model. And the funny thing about it is, I forget what I was looking at earlier today, but I was sitting in script review with Elijah, and maybe this is crazy, but I remember what it was. We were looking for comments. Like, you know how sometimes in our videos we'll do like a collage of similar comments. Like, last time on Tech House, you guys asked, why we scavenged the copper the way we did, and we'll go and we'll put a bunch of comments about that. So there's a really cool new feature in the YouTube dashboard where you can search your comments using AI search for anything that, instead of just searching for like a keyword, you can look for anything about this topic or anything that was critical of Linus's hairdo or whatever. You can search for sentiment now, which honestly, pretty cool and useful feature for LLMs. Anyway, so I searched for something specific. I don't remember exactly what it was. And it crapped out a list of all the comments. And I was like, oh, that's super great. And okay, here, Elijah, when you're going through and you're doing the guidance for this video, here, let me just copy this link to the studio dashboard, to the search result, and I will throw that into the script, like guidance column. And then I was like, wait, is that going to work? Right? Like, is it, I know it'll bring up the dashboard. I know I can link someone who also has access to the dashboard, and I can even link them to the specific page, but is it gonna link that search query? And so I clicked it to check it, and it did, but I was like, hey, wait a second. I think it generated that result again. It didn't cache it at all, which honestly, for something like the YouTube dashboard, wouldn't surprise me that much. But for something like a super commonly searched term like this, like, did you get exactly the same result as me? Or did you get an LLM generated output fresh for you? Do you want to have a quick look?
Yeah, so mine, I think I closed that tab already. Okay.
I mean, you could just search again. I'll read mine and you tell me when it stops matching. Testing is the systematic process of evaluating a system.
Already off.
Okay. So here's a question for me. And you know, I am not a systems architect. I am not a deep expert on LLMs or anything of the sort. But what I do know is that right now we have big tech absolutely desperate to build more data centers in order to support their AI endeavors. We have just like a massive volume of use of products like search. And we have this technology that we've had for, you know, all of computing, caching, that it seems to me might be useful. So why would they run like a crappier model that, to your point, yeah, I've noticed that AI Overviews makes a ton of mistakes, like more than other better LLMs makes. So in order to manage their resource usage, wouldn't you think they would just like cache this? Or like cache common queries, update them once a day, once every couple days? Like the definition of testing is not going to change between now and tomorrow.
Yeah, and I find it interesting because before, if I would Google something, like a specific word, and I would do this very often, it would surface a definition. Sometimes I've done this in the past, and maybe they don't want me to do this, but I've done this in the past where sometimes I'll Google something for a spell check.
Yeah.
Because the Google search will be like, you spelled this word wrong, right? Now it'll think I'm like trying to talk to it. And I run into some weird scenarios. I like Google is genuinely significantly less useful for me, and I've been using it way less.
This is interesting.
Since AI Overview became a thing.
This is interesting. They're doing at least a little bit of caching. Chat pointed out that my two search results, one in my regular browser and one in my incognito tab, did return identical results. Okay.
Interesting. Try a different browser entirely.
Okay. All right. I'll open it.
Because
Microsoft. Are you a Microsoft representative? Are you trying to?
No. Well, I mean, you could use Firefox.
I don't have it on here.
You could use Chrome to get Firefox.
I did get the same result. Interesting.
Because I know there was this thing recently, I don't know if we talked about it on WAN Show or not, but Google Chrome is reserving like a bunch of space on your drive for AI stuff. And I don't remember if that included things like results and whatnot.
Okay.
So a different browser getting the same one is interesting. Someone in chat, oh, I just saw it. Kuro Setsuna 29 said, I wonder if it's region cache. I'm in a different region.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that could be it.
Because mine goes, testing is the act of subjecting a system, person, or process to experiments, which is different than yours, yeah? It's close, but different, right?
Yeah. Yeah, little bit different.
And I refreshed the page and got the same thing. Let me try in a different browser.
Okay, all right. This has become kind of an interesting rabbit hole. Sorry, guys. I know you were expecting WAN Show, but
I mean, this is WAN Show.
This is kind of WAN Show.
Yeah. Testing. Oh. Okay. In Firefox,
Based
on this device, I'm not logged in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's figuring out my geolocation and making everything Mandarin, I'm guessing.
Oh, that makes sense, actually.
It did not give me an AI overview at all.
Okay, then. Yeah, that checks out.
English? Trying to do URL things. Testing.
Avon Fox says it's probably quicker to regenerate than to pull from cache. Yeah, but that's exactly what I was kind of wondering is, like, are they better off using a better model and then using caching versus a super light model that, like, makes a ton of mistakes? Especially when it's something that, you know, is a pretty static outcome, like something that is not going to change from day to day, like the definition of a common word, for instance.
One second here, sorry. There we go. Can I change this?
It's also interesting to me that it cites Cambridge Dictionary as its first one, with club.ministry of testing, whatever the devil that is, and also some YouTube short. And then when I actually go there, oh, there's an ad. Oh, wow. That's a lot of LTTStore ads. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, nowhere on the Cambridge site is like exactly that definition. And you'd think it would be simpler and less error prone to just give me
a lot of LTTStore ads.
That's a lot of LTTStore ads, hey?
Holy crap.
All the LTTStore ads.
How much money was just spent spamming your browser with that?
I shudder to think.
You know, it might have been pretty effective because it ended up on WAN Show, though. Okay, so mine did not match. But I'm wondering if... So I went to specifically a, like, Canadian Google search thing. I didn't actually realize this was even a thing at all. I searched up Google Canada, and it gave me, like... I don't know. If you go to Google right now, does it show a, like, red and white Google logo with the Canadian Soccer Association logo and stuff flicking by?
Sorry, this? Yeah.
Let me see. I gotta wait for this thing to catch up.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Okay, so I got that, basically. And I searched on there.
Yep.
And now I got testing is the act of evaluating, measuring, or examining the capability, safety, or characteristics of something. And then blah, 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 blah. Is that the same as yours?
I don't...
Because that is very different than my previous one.
Not quite. Systematic process of evaluating a system, product, or idea to determine its functionality, performance, or safety. Yeah, so it shuffles things around a little bit. And when you shuffle things a little bit, well, then you introduce the potential for errors. And it's just seems to be a feature rather than a bug. And that's just kind of what we're stuck with. And somebody's got to be accountable for it. And, Google's basically saying, hey, well, it should be the user, but I mean, we just, with this, the simplest of tests, searching the word testing, found that it will sort of move things around. It'll cite sources that don't actually have exactly that definition. And it's hard because it's really tempting because it's right there. Like I find myself searching for something and going, right. I can't trust that. Don't look at that. Look under that. Go under the fold and start clicking into things because it's just so convenient. Why don't we jump into our next big topic? You want to pick one?
Sure. Let's tackle this because I'm interested in how this is going to go. A Florida hospital is using Palantir to catch sepsis earlier. It saved 886 lives so far. Tampa General Hospital in Florida has used a Palantir built system called the Sepsis Hub.
Okay, that's a scary name.
It is to save an estimated 886 lives since 2022, halving sepsis-related deaths. The software pulls real-time data from electronic health records, lab results, clinician notes, and bedside monitors across roughly 1,000 patients at once, watching for subtle early signals of sepsis that can get lost on a busy floor. Then alerts a rapid response team, so flagged patients get antibiotics within an hour. It's also cut sepsis patient hospital stays by 30%, which is going to benefit all other problems, basically. Context why this matters: sepsis kills around 350,000 Americans a year, making it the leading cause of death in U.S. hospitals. Tampa General isn't alone in its results either. A separate AI model called Composer, tested by UC San Diego across 2 ERs, showed a 17% drop in sepsis deaths after going live. The discussion question is, if an AI system can demonstrably have sepsis deaths at one hospital, what's actually stopping every other hospital from deploying the same kind of tool? I think the thing stopping it is cost, sure, but also rigor. Like they have to verify that this thing actually does work first.
I mean, now that it's working, I think that will probably help it to become something that would be desirable.
Yeah, you need to make sure
elsewhere.
It's not doing anything else potentially bad as well. But it is probably pretty good. And obviously, you can't exactly balk at 886 lives. And I think the families of the people saved would probably even be annoyed that I even brought this up. But one thing that flagged me immediately when reading this is that Palantir is receiving the health records, lab results, clinician notes, and all the details from the bedside monitors of every single patient at this entire hospital.
Well, roughly 1,000 patients. I don't know if it's every single one.
I think that's everyone at the hospital. I think it's everyone at the hospital that has those things. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case because their note here. The other thing that I thought was interesting is it's not just patients with sepsis, because they're trying to do early warning detections for patients getting sepsis. So I think they're just if you're that wired up.
I think your initial assessment was right. By the way, this is hilarious. AI overview. Tampa General Hospital is licensed for 1,354 total beds system-wide across the blah, 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 blah. About Tampa General Hospital. Tampa General is licensed for 982 beds. Right under it.
Beautiful. Fantastic. I honestly, I find mistakes in the AI overview like almost every single time I use it. I hate it. It has genuinely made Google significantly worse for me. I have seen myself using other tools because Google is worse for me now than it was in, like, I don't know, 2015, like genuinely 11 years ago. Like we've gone so far back that we're over a decade behind. And maybe it'll eventually be better or something, but it's worse than useless right now. But anyways, back to the topic. Looking at Palantir's playbook, they want to own all of the data in the world. They've basically publicly said that they don't want people to have any form of freedom, and that people won't commit crimes anymore when there is genuinely no such thing as privacy, because any government in the world would instantaneously know if anyone did anything out of line. Like they are not good, and I think it's going to be very, very difficult for people to look at this thing that is making a massive positive impact. 886 lives, halving the deaths, and reducing hospital stays for a common and major issue by 30% are not things that anyone can balk at. Those are very serious numbers.
Those are exciting things. I mean, anytime you talk,
difficult to deny,
even to an AI skeptic, one of the first things they'll say is like, yeah, when they announced this stuff, they promised it was going to revolutionize medicine. If that's what it was doing, then I would be fine with it. Like pretty much everyone I talk to who's like anti-AI is like, okay, but if it was this, then it would be fine. It's just that, unfortunately, you've got companies like Palantir that are doing that stuff where we're saving human lives, which seems like a pretty useful and noble endeavor for AI, but also using it as a means to collect that data to pursue a lot less comforting future outcomes.
Yeah.
So I think that could be one of the things, back to our discussion question, preventing other hospitals from deploying this same technology.
I also think like you wouldn't really have a choice. A lot of times, depending on how bad your condition is, you just literally have to go to the closest hospital. I've heard some weird stuff about the American medical system where like you're out of your insurance capture zone or something, so you have to get driven further, something. I don't know. I'm a Canadian. Our healthcare system does not work that way. But like, this stuff's just going to be running. Like, I doubt you're, that there's a lot of systems built around healthcare and end of life where like the funeral business is incredibly lucrative, because when someone passes,
you don't want to seem like a cheapskate.
Yeah, people are very unlikely to say no
Yep.
to upsells. So that industry makes a lot of money. The healthcare industry is very similar. There is a ton of money that goes into, especially near end of life, because if someone closely related to you is suffering, you are very unlikely to say no to upgrades in care.
Yep.
This is one of those situations where it's like, are you okay with the health records, lab results, clinician notes, bedside monitor access, and probably tons of other things being mass data harvested from your loved one? Oh, also, they might not die if you click this checkbox. A lot of people are going to click the checkbox.
Yep.
I would wager pretty much everyone. But then that also does lead to the super dystopian futures that specifically Palantir has been saying they want to create.
Yvonne keeps asking me what I want for my funeral, and I'm like, I'm dead. Do whatever makes you happy. I couldn't possibly care.
Yeah.
Monetize it. I don't know. Charge admission. I'm sure there's at least someone who'd want to see me dead. They'll show up. Farewell, inferior tech, Linus.
Charge admission. Oh my god.
I mean, you've heard me say that if you guys catch it on camera, you have to monetize it, right?
I have. I was talking to someone about that surprisingly recently, and yeah, I was like, he said that before. I don't know if he still feels that way or not. So
do
I
it.
guess you do. Yeah.
Do it. I mean, everyone's got to get their severance and everything. If for whatever reason we can't keep going without me, right? You got to milk it as good as you can, as long as you can. And then when it's over, it's over. And it was a wonderful ride while it lasted.
Man, okay, sorry. Katsune Lane in Floatplane chat said Luke's dedication to Linus is a WAN show delivered live from beside his coffin. That would be so depressing because it would be so long.
Open casket, I hope.
I'd have to sit there like open casket for like 4 hours. Oh my god. Oh.
Here, practice.
I can't even hold on one second. I gotta. Oh.
How long could we keep the streak alive? I mean, would you bring my ashes and put them next to you? You and Dan can just do the WAN show and just put me on the shelf.
I think
from the Urn Show.
Oh.
It's just D-brand
the sponsor spots can just go to like an Urn camera.
We could make the lid go up and down like the Canadians on South Park.
If anybody sends a comment that's a direct question for me, you could just cut to my camera and then just leave it there for a bit and then cut back and keep going.
Awkward silence.
The one place I draw the line though is no LLM resurrection of me. I am one of the people on Earth who would be relatively easy to LLM in honestly a pretty accurate fashion. But yeah. I don't consent to that. I don't approve of that.
Could we?
So I'll just on the Urn camera, I'll just have to like flap the lid of the urn to pretend you're talking and just try to.
You have to puppeteer it. You can even do the voice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I don't know who outside of dbrand would accept those ad spots.
I mean, dbrand would do it. If dbrand's still around, they would do it.
Yeah.
I can find out.
Also, laughing about flapping your urn. I'm in a rather public place, just so viewers of the show know. I'm at Li Hua Hong. I've featured this place a couple times. There was one time somewhere around 10 years ago in the Destin Internet Cafes video that I featured this place. And then there was also a short a little while ago, but I needed a good internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we were having some issues with hotels and their internet connections. So we just decided to do the show from here. And people can definitely hear me.
Nice. Hold on. My rep's typing. There's a robot typing. I said you would sponsor wrapping my urn, right? Yeah, I'll schedule it too. Classic.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Yeah, that checks out. I mean, they've tried to kill me enough times, sending me packages full of broken glass and whatnot.
I got a comment.
Maybe that's why
one.
They're just annoyed they haven't been able to do that type of an ad spot yet. They've been waiting for so long.
Oh man! All right, we should probably jump into our next topic here. This is on the surface kind of cool. You can apparently just tell your Instagram algorithm what you want now. Instagram is expanding its Your Algorithm feature to the main feed, letting you directly tell the app what you want to see. It shows you a list of topics Instagram thinks you're interested in based on your activity, and you can add topics that you want or remove ones that you don't. Changes will carry across Reels, Explore, and now the main feed since it's all one system. It started in the US and is rolling out globally in English. Instagram head Adam Mosseri framed this as fixing a one-sided relationship. The system learns from what you tap and watch, but you've never been able to just tell it what you want. He credits large language models for making it possible, since older ranking systems ran on data that no human could read, while LLMs can now sort content into plain language topics. For now, it is limited to topics, but Instagram says that controls for specific people, moods, and content types are coming.
I mean, I think it's a good thing.
It seems like what it always should have had the ability to do. I recognize the challenges around metadata and tagging and how manual something like that could be. I can see how LLMs could help with that, but also, I mean, we've spent 90% of the show so far talking about how fundamentally flawed they are and how often they make mistakes.
This will be abusable. I don't know if there will be a reward in abusing it, but this feels like it is going to be susceptible to Spider-Man and Elsa style issues. For people that don't understand that reference, kids' YouTube years ago was taken over by some really weird content of people cosplaying as Spider-Man and Elsa and other characters and doing some weird stuff that you wouldn't really expect to be on the kids' side of YouTube. But it got there because of the framing of the video. And I could imagine that something similar could happen in this type of system. I think the reward is...
the reward of Spider-Man and Elsa was always
in AdSense.
Well, I guess AdSense. So maybe more reward than for just getting views on Instagram. But there's also the reward of just getting clout and building up followers on Instagram. Social media accounts are worth money. And especially with automation tools, the ability to create accounts, to abuse these systems, to grow to some threshold, to then be farmed off to scammers who need plausible looking Instagram accounts, or whatever the model is. I often find myself very surprised by the things that scammers will come up with. There was that recent one where there was that warehouse of consoles that was farming FIFA card packs or something. I can't remember the exact details of it. I'm not a FIFA guy. Dan, do you remember? Oh, okay. I just assumed you were into football, being an English person and all of that.
Oh, cricket.
Wow.
Like a normal person.
Got it. That makes sense.
No. I don't go outside.
I remember that topic. I don't remember the specific details. I think it was farming throwaway matches, basically, in order to get pack openings, free generating pack openings. I don't know why that benefits them or anything, but yeah. It's interesting. I can't necessarily imagine how you would abuse this. It just feels to me how an LLM would view this content is probably abusable in some way. I don't know to what end, but it feels like it probably would be. I also don't know what kind of... They're even saying you can sort by moods, which is interesting. So is it doing the Linus maneuver, and is it reading the comments? So could you manipulate this setup by convincing your audience somehow to all comment in a particular way? I don't know. This almost feels like something Spiffing Brit should dive into, although he seems to just do YouTube stuff.
Based.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting. I like the idea of being able to more manually control our feeds. I also respect Linus's dedication to keeping his Facebook Marketplace weird as heck. But if I could just tell Facebook Marketplace that I want it to show me weird things, that would also be nice.
One thing
I think this is good.
One thing I've wanted from YouTube for a long time is the ability to tell them what my video is about a little bit, because they can mostly figure that out on their own. But what I really want is to tell them who it's for. Because remember way back when you made, here, I'm actually just going to pull up the video. Come on. Here, this one.
I
You
might be
did.
able to imagine.
Oh, for crying out loud! This one right here.
Wait.
Installing a video card. How to
Oh,
basics on Linus Tech Tips 10 years ago. This video got absolutely dogpiled out of the
People
gate.
Hated it. People were like actually pissed when it
Like
launched.
so angry. And
Yeah.
and it there was momentum around it because that was back when the like-dislike ratio was visible publicly.
Yeah.
So people
And it was very negative.
saw that people hated it, and then they piled onto it even more, and it created this like death spiral of hatred and negativity around this video. And if you actually just, watch the video, you don't say anything wrong. Hold on. Did it
Yeah,
stop?
it was people hated it just because it was beneath most of the average viewers of LTT.
At the time.
Yeah, it wasn't that the information was incorrect. It's just that they were like, it's a graphics card, bruh.
Yeah, you
I
just
don't
put
need
it
you to show
in,
me.
bruh.
But I'm pretty sure we included things like DDUing your drivers and like
We
other
did.
stuff like that. Like I think it was like decently
No, you did a good job.
presented at the
No,
time.
you did a very good job.
It was lambasted because it hit the wrong audience, like
And
you're kind of saying.
Exactly. So what I've been asking YouTube for is the ability, because what's happened is our channel has kind of Michael Bay'd itself, because we can't just make a video on installing a CPU anymore. Because what's going to happen is you bumped your mic, careful. What's going to happen is it's going to jump into the feed of everyone, from someone who subscribed to LTT yesterday to someone who subscribed to LTT 17 years ago. And these folks, your regular viewers, are going to feel like patronized, and they're going to feel like this is a complete and utter waste of time. And what tends to happen is algorithmically, YouTube will kind of go, well, your channel is about, X, and the people who are interested in X don't like this. Therefore, this is probably bad content. But what I would actually really like is the ability to tell YouTube, hey, this video is not for my regulars. This is not.
If this was a new viewers only, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that resulting in it potentially doing worse, especially out of the gate. But I don't want it to massively negatively affect the long-term potential of the video by it nuking a bunch of potential views on people who would never click on it. Because if someone's in Floatplane chat or they've just been, I'll meet people at events all the time that are like, I've been watching since the NCIX days. Like, bro, you know how to install a GPU.
Exactly.
You don't need this. The vast majority of people who have watched more than 1 to 3 LTT videos or realistically any other computer hardware tech videos on YouTube isn't going to need a video on how to install a GPU. But that doesn't mean that a bunch of people don't need that.
So here's another great example.
What's the first time you've ever built a computer? If you just spent a bunch of money on hardware and you want to build a computer for the first time and you don't have an in-person mentor, you want to make sure that you don't ruin this incredibly expensive component as you put it into your computer. You might want to watch a little video on how to install it.
Yeah, and so we wanted, that was supposed to be a series. That's why the title is appended with this how-to basics. I had in my mind that I wanted to create 3 sort of series of to really get back down to tech tips and do how-to basics, which was kind of a play on how to basic, which was kind of a viral thing at the time. And then I wanted how to intermediate and how to advanced. So we would do these tutorials on everything from installing a graphics card to reconfiguring ports on your router to setting up a NAS with multiple tiers of high speed and low speed storage, and we'd kind of segment them out and just create these very evergreen guides.
Sorry.
The reception to it was so negative that we did a couple of them. We kind of went, well, holy crap, we can't do this. And then ultimately, years later, that like-dislike ratio actually totally turned around, and the video now has 2.3 million views. but that's not nearly as many as it probably would have if it hadn't had its growth stunted right at the beginning there.
Yeah, it's you know what's kind of interesting is I've heard that the youngins these days, to go back to a previous topic, actually also hate Google search now.
Nice.
Like Google search just sucks these days. The results are terrible, and the AI search is worse than the auto stuff that they had in the past. Like it's just Google search is just going completely down the hole. But a lot of the youngins are using like TikTok for search, which hurt my brain a lot when I first heard it. But apparently it's because they're using it in the way that a lot of us probably use YouTube, which is where we look it up, like, you know, how do I fix my washing machine or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's a weird question. Someone in chat said that Instagram has like a trials feature where it won't send it to your subscribers or something. I lost the message. Andrew Candy, Instagram can kind of do this with trial reels. It doesn't send them to your followers. I don't know exactly how that works, but maybe the How to Basics series, maybe with a different name, not sure, could return, but in shorts format.
I could see potential
there.
there.
Graphics card, but the shorts version, how to install RAM, but the shorts version.
It can also even work in long form, though. Here, Dan, I'm just gonna see if my laptop is working. Oh yeah, there we go. So I'm on my daily driver here, so I'm logged in. So here's an example of one that kind of shows how bad this can be. So we uploaded like just building a PC, you know, just a build guide for the first time in like ages. So first day performance of this video was 458,000, literally half of the upper end of our typical range, like absolute bombed out of the gate. And then eventually the algorithm figured out, oh, okay, yeah, oh, this is a high quality video that just the subscribers to this channel were not interested in. Shwamp! Now it's more than double the high end of your typical range. And just, you know, daily as the English speaking world awakens and sleeps and awakens again, it just gets views. But it would be but it doesn't always work out that way. So, right, the other one that I was going to pull up was Riley did a $1,000 gaming PC. So here, we'll go back to Linus laptop. This one also bombed out of the gate in spite of the very likable Super Riley, and then never found that audience. And you know what? Maybe we just, maybe just didn't, work. Maybe $1,000 guide was not as good as a $2,000 guide. Whatever. I don't know the exact answer to why one of them went and one of them didn't. But I've been telling Google for years, I would just love to be able to just tell you. I can tell you, I know who it's for. And as a variety channel, it's something that we've struggled with our entire existence, and I think we struggle with more and more now, where one video on our channel one day is touring a data center, and then the next day is like tearing down the walls of the tech house so that we can run conduit and low voltage wiring. And then the next day is a review of a Steam controller. Like, we're all over the place. And I have noticed that algorithmically, they just don't know what to do with us compared to a channel that is more predictable. Like, even within the tech niche, there's other channels that are more predictable in terms of their tone from one video to the next. And I'd love to be able to just say, hey, this is for people that are super into biohacking, or this is for people who are really into enterprise hardware, whatever, right? But I can't.
Yeah.
There's breaking Anthropic news, by the way, that we should probably acknowledge because chat is exploding.
I'm working on that
about
literally
this
right now.
Basically, they issued a statement.
The U.S. government shut them down.
Statement on the U.S. government directive to suspend access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5. Yeah. Citing national security authorities, the U.S. government has issued an export control directive to suspend all access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 by any foreign national, even those inside the United States, including Anthropic employees. So
this feels like, yeah.
To ensure compliance, they have just turned Fable 5 and Mythos 5 off for everyone. This just happened.
Dan pointed this out in Floatplane chat, but this is probably the best marketing anyone on the entire planet could have asked for. But
yeah.
I actually think this might be, hilariously, the whole marketing angle might not be the goal that the U.S. government wanted, because I suspect they are still in a bit of a tiff over when Anthropic stood up to them a little while ago. And with the IPOs coming soon, I suspect this might have been an attempt to hold them back, actually. But I think, just like last time, this is ultimately going to be just like an insane marketing move, promoting the absolute heck out of Anthropic. The including internal employees thing is wild. We had Conrad, the guy who makes LTTStore, in regards to development, was in chat earlier saying he used Fable 5 personally, and said I don't want to misquote. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said very positive things about it. Very interesting. Honestly, the frontier models that are coming out right now are pretty nuts. Yeah. Mackery Squared in Floatplane chat said, "Not me, currently using Fable 5 to rewrite a whole platform." Yeah, wild. In before U.S. citizens start reselling their access to Fable 5 to foreign nationals.
If only there was some technology that could make it so that you could appear as though you were in a different region than you were. If only there was some way to pay for things with a, US bank issued payment method. If like this, I don't know how they could possibly hope to enforce this once they actually do re-enable Fable 5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is like I don't think it's going to be as simple as a VPN, which is why they actually shut it down.
No, but you will. But you'll need. But it won't. Someone will overcome it. This ain't going to be impossible to overcome, no matter what.
At the very
Anthropic
least,
does.
I suspect it's going to be people individually reselling API key usage somehow. But it's wild. Verified US ID requirements incoming. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to say who said this, but somebody said, "I got a notice on a litigation hold on all communications about Anthropic. Am DOD employee." I think you mean DOW. But yeah, for now, DOD.
I've heard the Department of War thing isn't official. They just call it that.
No, but it like went looking like probably official today. Or yesterday or something. Yeah.
Got it. I don't know what's going on with that, but I thought that was kind of funny. Has to be approved by Congress. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild situation. Absolutely wild situation. I think I don't know if we've talked about it on WAN Show or not. But PewDiePie's video on Odysseus.
Yeah.
It's we've talked about PewDiePie a few times over the years on WAN Show. This is not one of the ways that I expected to be talking about PewDiePie, but he has been doing incredible things when it comes to locally hosted AI and agentic stuff. And his video on Odysseus, his project, which he has open sourced, has 3 million views now. And we talked about this last show, but local models are not are not necessarily, brushing shoulders with these frontier models.
No, but they're very useful.
But they are very useful, and I really think in the same way that with the whole operating system debate right now, my solution is to very happily just dual boot on both of my systems. I'm dual booting on my laptop, I'm dual booting on my desktop, and I'm very happy. I think the prime solution, for me at least, is going to be using both. Saving your API costs on something big and heavy and powerful like Fable 5 or any other crazy frontier model, because in 2 weeks it'll probably be something else that's in the lead. And then for most of your, honestly, probably most of your work, but it really depends on who you are and what you're doing. You can use local models in order to
for just you're just dumb bullshit. What's the weather going to be tomorrow? Just to interact with your DIY Google Home that doesn't actually communicate with Google's servers, that cute little robot thing that Nick Harris from the lab had in his AMD Ultimate Tech upgrade. Paying for tokens to run something like that to turn your lights on and off would be crazy. And
there's no need to.
You just don't need to, because a local model can handle the voice to text, can handle the natural language interaction just fine today.
But there was that guy in chat who said they were using Fable to rewrite an entire system, and it's okay.
Yeah, you're not doing that on your RTX 3070.
Okay, sure. You can do quite a bit with local models, and it might do pretty well. But,
Atomic says Quen 3.6 is phenomenal, and that happens to be that was actually one of the first things that Nick Harris asked when we were meeting with Nvidia at Computex was, okay, neat, impressive demo. What are you guys using? And Quen 3.6 came up immediately. It seems like it's just basically beloved right now for anyone who wants to run local AI.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of different things. If you're scared of running stuff, again, I would highly recommend watching the PewDiePie video. But he talks about a part of the Odysseus system called Cookbook, where it helps inform you based on your system hardware what you can run. So if you're what the heck is a Quen, it can kind of handle those portions for you, or at least majorly simplify it. But yeah, the local hosting stuff was incredibly interesting and is now taken a massive leap forward in how interesting it is. And the frontier models keep being mind-bogglingly insane. And it's quite the time for terrible things to happen. Anyways, topic move on?
No, it's time for us to do our Creator Warehouse announcements. This week, we are launching a pretty fun one. I am legitimately super excited about this one. Okay, hold on. It's time to hopefully not have a classic WAN Show nip slip here. Okay. Oh, shoot. I still have my mic on. Okay, first up is the Map of Cyberia t-shirt. It is a fully hand-illustrated fantasy map where someone replaced all the kingdoms with things like the Great Firewall, Isle of WAN, and the cryptocurrency. Get it? Cryptocurrency?
That's pretty good.
Hold on. I'm going to go to the Linus cam. This has got to be. Oh man, you guys can't. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna have to pull it up on the site. I'll bring it up on the site. I have to give Lisa from the CW team the vast majority of the credit on this one. She spearheaded this, and just I don't know when it happened, but she just figured out our vibe as a company, our audience at some point.
Pirate Bay.
and it culminated, or maybe she's still cooking. Maybe she hasn't reached the peak yet. But oh my God, the leg access point. You have got to be kidding me. That is the funniest shit.
Control+C is really good. I like that one.
Yeah. The poisoned cache.
Port 80.
Network bridge. Of course, this had to be there.
This is quite informed, actually.
Right?
What the heck?
The bits.
That's cool.
The bytes. I asked her, I was like, do the bytes have exactly 8 times the landmass of the bits? And she was like, don't overthink it. I'm like, okay, all right, fair enough, Lisa. All right.
Hold on a second. I got it.
The data mines.
27032. Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible design. Super cool.
Are these up right now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't see a link in the doc.
Map of Cyberia.
Oh, I see. There it is.
T-shirt available now in regular and tall. So make sure you guys are getting in there. Oh, we don't have a lot of tall units in the XLs, double XLs, and triple XLs, at least on the global site. And great photo shoot, as always. This has to be Tynan. There's no way this isn't Tynan. It's Tynan. No, it's Dan.
That's me.
Did you borrow Tynan? Okay, this one's Tynan.
The ones outside are Tynan, yeah.
Okay. Amazing. I know he's into that stuff. I didn't know you were. Did you borrow his stuff?
It was actually somebody else's stuff.
Oh, really?
There was some other guy who lent us a set of armor.
Oh, that's super cool.
Hold on one sec. Am I getting this correctly? The olive one has the large map on the front, but the black one has the small logo on the front, the large map on the back?
Yeah, so we couldn't decide. We couldn't decide whether to do olive or black or here, if I switch over to the black, you'll see this one has the map on the back, and then it has the just the Cloud Kingdom on the front. So we kind of tried both, and we'll kind of see what people are more into. I'm not going to spoil anything by saying who thought which way, but they're both really cool designs, and
I'm so interested how the sales of this go. I'm so interested because I've always personally, like, I think this shirt is wicked. I'm going to try, if there isn't one sitting there for me already, I'm going to try to get the black one in XL tall. But the reason why I'm going to get the black one is because I always love the small logo over the heart with, is that my size?
Sorry, it's a medium.
Darn it! I always really like the small logo over the heart and then the big thing on the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
That's always my favorite shirt design. But I'm wondering, like, is that just a me thing, or is that...
No, it's a lot of people thing, but we also felt that the way that this design doesn't pop as, like, okay, here.
No, I agree. That is a good point.
Like,
that
this is a lot to wear on the front. This is actually not as much.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And it's also not like a huge logo. If it was a massive, like, your entire torso Linus Tech Tips logo,
yeah,
that would probably kind of suck.
But instead, it's like a cool design full of fun little Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
And there's the shirt that must not be named that doesn't exist anymore.
Which one?
And that had a big logo on the front.
Sleep is for p***s?
No,
Oh.
it was released very recently and then taken away.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that had a big logo on the front, and that looked really sick as well. So, like, it's obviously not a hard and fast rule.
Yeah.
So I am interested because, just like you said, on the olive one, it kind of works.
Well, one that I do have an XL tall here for you is this one. Was our
See,
best.
That also works.
This was our best-selling T-shirt in a long time.
Yeah. So it's really not a hard and fast rule. It's just like a generalization that I prefer that setup. But, like, I wouldn't... That pirate one, if you just had a little parrot... it's not showing up in camera. If you just had a little parrot here,
yeah,
and then the back said that, I don't think that would be better.
No, I don't think that one would quite work. So this is like,
so it kind of depends.
We've been kind of trying to find our stride on like the t-shirt designs over the last little while. Like I think we had, I don't want to get too deep into like sort of the internal stuff, but you guys might have noticed that whether it's sourcing the blanks or whether it's having designs ready or whether it's having both of those things at the same time, we haven't really focused on t-shirts for like a couple of years at this point. Whereas it used to be that like every other freaking WAN show, we were announcing another t-shirt, and t-shirts were like a big part of LTTStore. And then for a long time, they basically haven't been. But I think over this last couple, like I obviously haven't seen any sales figures for this one yet, but I love it. The design team freaking loves it. Like we love it. So we're really confident in it. But as you can see, we're still kind of mixing it up in terms of, okay, do we do little thing on the front, big thing on the back, big thing on the front? Like what's our current meta going to be? So we're going to let you guys ultimately decide that.
That's very interesting. I'm specifically interested in the sales of this one with my little I like the small logo thing, because I think this one is a strong example of the big image on the front being cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a good test.
Both are cool.
Theory, I think.
But wait, there's more. Where is it? There's also, our new arrivals could probably stand to be cleaned out a little bit. Whoops.
The desk pad, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So there's also a desk pad. How fun is that? Available in 3 different sizes, 900 mil by 400 mil, 300 mil, or 600 mil, depending on your preference. All the same price as you've come to expect from LTTStore. Ooh, hello. From LTTStore. It also looks extremely striking, great quality printing. Got this here. Map of Cyberia desk pad. Oh, Luke is there. Oh, yeah, there you go. Freaking awesome. And of course, nice high quality desk pad, natural rubber stitched edges, etc., etc. Stitched edges. What you would expect from us. Man, they've been having way too much fun at these photo shoots lately. And that's a good thing. One of what? Oh, really?
Unless it's not on there.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Sorry, Dan. I didn't see it. Anyway, those are our new launches for this week. And you can check them out at lmg.gg/Cyberia, which is spelled like cyber and then IA. And it's a perfect time to pick one up because we're live, which means that you can send a comm. We might need to change the name again. Well, whatever. For now, they're called checkout messages, comms. And the way that they work is all you got to do is fire up LTTStore, add something that catches your eye to your cart, boop-de-boop, view your cart, and in the checkout, you can type up a message. It'll go to producer Dan. There he is, who will respond to it or just like pop it up on the stream if it's just like a shout out for someone, or he will curate it for me and Luke to respond to. Dan, do you want to hit us with a couple of comms?
Sure thing. Linus, your 40th level is coming up. Do you plan on celebrating it in a special way? How about writing a biography or even an autobiography? I'd read a success story. Also, more non-black t-shirts, please.
I'm flattered, but I am not planning to write an autobiography. I started making notes like a couple times for something like that, and then I just have not had the time to do it. I don't know. Maybe I've just not thought about it the right way, because I was really surprised when I found out that someone as private as Linus Torvalds had written an autobiography. And when I asked him about it, he basically was just like, well, try anything once, including write an autobiography, apparently, because he's a really modest guy, and he's a really modest, really private guy, and that didn't really align with write an autobiography. But The writer actually talks about this in the autobiography, or I guess it's not really an autobiography, but it's like it's got a lot of autobiographical elements, but also a lot of observations from the author. It's kind of like a mishmash of both. And the writer actually talks about the process by which he convinced Torvalds to do it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I just haven't heard the right pitch from a ghostwriter. I also just don't think I'd be comfortable with a ghostwriter writing it. I feel like I should write my own thing. People ask me, like, what do you do? And more than anything else, I think more than a host, I think my greatest contribution to LTT is writing. I don't think people realize how much of what is done at Linus Media Group has been touched at some point by my pen. Not all of it.
It's all of it.
It's not all of it.
Every single mistake. It's all Linus.
Thank you for that.
Even if it's just a Labs article that doesn't have him credited, if there's a mistake in it, it was Linus. If there's not a mistake in it, it was someone else.
All right.
Anyways,
did I answer the question? I don't remember, and I'm having a hard time logging into the dashboard.
No, I think that's probably good enough.
All right, cool. Good
next.
chat.
Hey, DLL, what's the most recent book you've read or are currently reading?
Oh.
Ooh. What did I pick up recently?
Trying to remember. I read Breakfast with Maury a little while ago, but that was a while ago. I think I read something more recently than that.
Give me a second here.
I've reverted to my teenage state, and I've been reading old Foxtrot collections during my midnight snack breakfast cereal lately. So that's been fun. I love Foxtrot.
That is fun.
I actually had no idea he still publishes Sunday strips online. Shout out Bill Amend.
Man, there's no way to go sort by recent. My goodness. I will find it. Give me a second.
He's looking up. Dan, in the meantime, read any good books lately?
I've still got most of The Prince to finish off.
What?
I read it back in college,
right.
and it was like, it was brutal, and it's still brutal. Reminds me a lot of the world right now. Have you read it, Linus?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you can have my other copy if you want. It's bad. It's hard. It's hard to read.
Huh? What a sales pitch.
It should be read, I think, by a lot of people. But
Okay,
yeah,
that's a better pitch. You should lead with
The
that.
Prince is good. Holy crap. You know what, Linus? I can give you something fun. Oh, there it is. Tough and Competent by Eugene F. Kranz.
Tough and Competent. Is that your autobiography?
No, but thank you. Gene Kranz was the second chief flight director for NASA.
He looks tough and competent.
Yeah. But I haven't actually started it, but I have it, and I'm excited.
That's the first step. One small step for Luke's reading list.
Yeah. But okay, I guess. Is that question done? I'm excited to show you something. And I keep trying to jump to it and then realizing that I'm skipping the topic we're currently on. Sorry.
Nice.
This is not an ad. I don't know if these guys have ever sponsored us or not, so my bad if they have. I don't know, whatever. But and I can't send you a link to this super easily, but if you just want to Google it, you've probably already seen it. But 8BitDo Ultimate 3-Mode Controller Xbox. They have a 8BitDo Xbox controller that is translucent green. Have you seen this? I thought you would like it.
Ultimate 3-Mode. Oh, nice. That looks sick.
Yeah. It's really interesting. There's a bunch of... I don't know if everyone just had the same thought at the same time or what, but there's a bunch of translucent products coming out. You can see in the background there, they have a keyboard. They have an 85% keyboard and a separate 10 key, which I think is super cool. Those buttons tend to come with their keyboard. So I'm assuming that's the case here as well. And then they also have the mouse. Then they also have the Xbox controller. It's a sick lineup of hardware, actually.
That looks amazing. Officially
It
licensed
looks
by Xbox.
really awesome.
Supported by Apple. Man, 8BitDo has just been crushing.
I believe they're Hall Effect joysticks or something. I lost the
Hall Effect
specs
joysticks,
here.
yep.
Yeah.
And the
okay.
triggers are Hall Effect linear.
Oh, nice. Okay, the triggers I wasn't sure, but I was trying to find that. Cool.
Yeah.
There's a switch on the back to switch which kind of device you're connecting it to and stuff. This looks wicked. I don't know. I'm just so stoked on translucent products coming out. I think it's awesome. I'm so happy that it seems like we're exiting an era of everything just being either all black or all white. I'm so happy that some color is entering products again, and that translucent and seeing the interesting things inside the product is becoming a thing again. I just think it's so sick. So
dude. Okay. I had a similar experience today. I was working on the LTT for Sony sent over their 115-inch True RGB TV. So it's over in the theater room right now. I had to leave for WAN Show, so I didn't actually get to see it fire up and watch content on it. I have to do that on Monday. I have to wait the whole weekend before Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I was looking at the remote, and it's a black remote, and I was like, of course it's a black No, wait.
Translucent.
No, it doesn't. It had little teal flecks in the plastic. Like, do you remember our RGB shirts? How they had those little those color tufts in them?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all one color, but it was kind of like that. Like, it just had little color flecks in it. And I was like, how fun is that? And how hard was that, to bring back a little bit of color in our lives? I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a nice little touch.
Yeah, I think that might actually be a double benefit, because I believe that's often an appearance that comes from recycled plastic.
Yeah.
So it could be a recycled plastic.
It looks great.
I think it
cool.
looks fantastic. I think it looks fantastic. Also, I didn't know this was a thing, but just to be fair, and I'm doing a terrible job of tracking names today. By East1 or Eastone. Posted in Floatplane chat, Xbox is also releasing their own translucent green Xbox controller. If you look up the Xbox 25th anniversary, they have an Xbox wireless controller X25 special edition, and it's a translucent green Xbox controller. I'm
a little confused about some of the messaging that I hear coming out of Xbox right now. Like, on the one hand, they need to rejuvenate their hardware business, but then on the other hand, they're saying things like how many Xboxes they sell is gated by production capacity, not by demand. I'm having a really hard time reconciling that. I am also recognizing that a lot of Xbox fans are rooting for exclusives, but I can't help but feel like if they go full exclusive and they don't come to PC, that we're sitting here demanding reverse progress that is actually regression. As someone who has never bought an Xbox and who probably will never bother to game on an Xbox, making games not available for me to purchase on PC is something that I'm going to have a hard time rooting for.
With the Xbox install base being as it is, games being exclusive might just mean their death.
Yeah. But I also understand that it's a chicken and egg problem, because you're not going to get an install base unless you give people a reason to buy the console, and it sure as heck isn't going to be the Xbox first party controller. What's it going to be? I
don't feel like it's going to be Gears 6 either. Or whatever.
I mean, you weren't really a Gears kid, though, right?
Not really, but I feel like, ooh, is this hot? Is this a hot take?
Here comes the hot take.
I feel like Gears always played second fiddle to Halo.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's a hot take at all, sir.
and I don't feel like either series is hot right now. So what? Halo Infinite the second and Gears 6. Like, I don't know. Whatever that thing they're doing is with the first Halo that they're recreating.
the
They're making
new remaster.
3 new missions.
So
Yeah. I don't think that's going to sell consoles either.
I was chatting with Plouffe about it, actually, right before the show, and he was like super bearish on it, and then just saw the latest updates, and he was like, yeah, I'm psyched now. I haven't seen it, but apparently it looks great. Like visually. But then also, didn't they have one of the old Bungie guys come out and pretty much say like, yeah, it looks great, but it doesn't look like Halo Combat Evolved. So I'm paraphrasing. I'm basically an AI right now. Disclaimer, what I said might not be attributable to anyone.
I'm basically an AI right now is a hilarious line. The 3 new missions is interesting and stuff.
Don't trust me, bro.
All I'm saying, I'm not saying it doesn't look interesting. All I'm saying is I don't know if it's a console seller. I don't know what Microsoft has right now that would be a console seller. People really like Forza Horizon 6. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's
They also dropped
fair.
Japan, which has been a location that people have been looking for in Forza Horizon for a long time. So they just dropped their like ace up their sleeve before it could be an exclusive. I just spent, days driving switchbacks in Taiwan. They could do one in Taiwan, but I don't think that's going to be as big of a draw as Japan is for car culture, obviously. I don't know. I don't know what game Microsoft has up their sleeve. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I mean, if some new Xbox launches and soon after the launch, Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and it's exclusive to consoles, that'll move some consoles.
Well, assuming it's not a complete dumpster fire.
I think it'll still move some consoles, honestly.
It's just a question of how many, sir.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Don't curse us like that. Yeah, sorry. That's a good point, but sorry. Happy 8th birthday to the trailer of ES6. I didn't believe that trailer for so long. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a fan edit. I didn't watch that game show, whatever one it was announced in. So when I saw it go on YouTube, I legitimately thought it was just like a fan edit, and didn't believe it for so long. And then people were talking about it like, I think years later. And I was like, wait, what? That was real? That was wild. I can't believe that. I still can't believe they did that. Yeah. I don't think, oh man. I'm kind of strongly of the opinion that it's been downhill since Morrowind, but the peak of Morrowind was so high that the slope was still really, really good. But like Fallout 4, even compared to Skyrim, even compared to Oblivion, I think was like a continual down. Fallout 4 was still really fun. It was a great game, but it felt like the worst one out of those.
I feel like as someone who came into the series on Oblivion, it's tough, and then tried to play Morrowind because Oblivion was so great and I wanted more.
You can't go back. You have to look at Morrowind in the time capsule of when it was released.
Sure.
I'm not suggesting you go back and play it now, but when it was released, Morrowind was an insane game. Like there was nothing like it. It was wild. And the way that I'm describing this like downward slope is basically like the weapon systems were reduced for Oblivion. You might be surprised having played Oblivion, but the magic system was reduced for Oblivion. Things just got simpler and simpler and simpler. Oblivion was a fantastic game. I think in a lot of respects you can say it was better than Morrowind, but yeah, understanding the climate in which Morrowind released, I still think Morrowind's better, if that makes sense. Anyways, and Skyrim was a like massive simplification of things as well. I don't know. I can understand people might not agree with that argument, but I do think, especially beyond Skyrim, Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, I think is what it's called, and Starfield, and some of the mobile games that they did, and things like that. It's been, I don't know. I still don't think Elder Scrolls 6, and I talked a big game about how I thought Starfield was going to be great, so hey, maybe I'm going to be terribly wrong again. But I still don't think...
Can you still call yourself a Bethesda fan? Can you be fully rational and logical about Bethesda, or will you still have naive hope in spite of all evidence from the last 10 years? Because I think that's the line, right? That's
tough, though, because like I did enjoy Fallout 4. I thought it was a lot weaker than New Vegas, and I thought it was weaker than 3.
Okay,
again.
So note that I said 10 years. Luke, I said 10 years.
I'm trying to remember.
Fallout 4 came out 11 years ago.
Jesus.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Actually, 10 and a half years.
No, it didn't. Shut up.
Holy crap, that's so
I just
painful.
broke him. I broke him, Dan. I'm sorry.
You want to know something funny? You know how I've like taken a break from streaming for a long time? I went through my most recent streaming assets folder. It's all Fallout 4 stuff. My taking a break has been a decade. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's dying, Dan.
Holy crap. Okay.
Oh man, should I break him again?
How old is Morrowind?
No,
Oblivion,
I know the Xbox
Oblivion
360
was
20
years ago.
Yeah, because Xbox 360, like I knew that one.
Okay.
For some reason, the gap between Oblivion and Fallout 4 seems so much bigger than between Fallout 4 and now. I don't know why that's true, but it feels like it. Okay, so the question of the last 10 years thing is tough.
Yeah, it's
Because,
tough, isn't it?
Even if we look like locally, right? If we look at Linus Media Group, like Linus Media Group looking 5 years back is so much different in what we're doing, who works here, what our capabilities are, all that kind of so different. Go back 7 years. Completely different thing. So it's okay. It's been an incredibly long time since Skyrim, but the only mainline game that they've released in that time, I don't necessarily think I believe 76 is a mainline game. Is that fair to say? I don't know.
This was meant to be like kind of a yes or no answer, Luke.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you still a fan of Bethesda?
Well, what I think I'm saying is I can't conclusively say either way because they haven't really released anything in the series that I liked in that period of time. They haven't released a mainline Fallout game. They haven't released a mainline Elder Scrolls game. Those are the two games that made me love Bethesda, so I don't think I can say. I'm going to still naively hold out hope, though.
Okay, then it sounds like you can still be at least a little bit of a fan. Because if you can naively hold out hope for something, I think
I am
that's my line.
Reviews and buying ES6 day one guaranteed.
Okay.
Because I have to experience it.
Okay.
I must.
I
think no other,
I think that's the answer. I think that's the answer then. I want to jump into a couple sponsor spots so that, because I'm sure you want to get on with your day at some point. The show is brought to you today by Odoo. Having to cycle between a dozen different tabs and apps when operating a business can have you wanting to jump into a bottomless pit of despair. But not with our sponsor, Odoo. Odoo is the all-in-one business management software that has just about any app your business could need integrated into one platform. You and your team can get projects off the ground with Odoo's designated app, so everyone can stay organized and on the same page. Once your project gets moving along, their CRM tool can help you send quotes and schedule meetings in a simple drag-and-drop interface. And the invoicing app can help you get paid when the time comes, with things like sending invoices and tracking open accounts, and they can be as automated as you'd like. Something that makes Odoo even cooler is that if you only need a single app, you can just use it for free. Use our link for a 15-day trial with no credit card required, or book a demo with their expert team to learn how Odoo can help your business grow. The show is also brought to you by OpManager Nexus. OpManager Nexus is a full-stack observability platform that gives you and your IT team a single, clear view of your entire infrastructure. There's no need to start from scratch. It seamlessly plugs into the Manage Engine ecosystem and the tools that your team already relies on. Whether your org works from the cloud or prefers an on-premise setup, or a mix of the two, OpManager is designed to work the way you prefer. It's built to be deployed quickly and uses customizable dashboards so each member of your team gets the reports and information they need the most. Plus, with a global network of localized data centers, everything stays highly available because they know just how much reliability matters. It's backed with strong data encryption, adhering to industry and regional compliance rules so your data stays protected. OpManager Nexus. Stop guessing and start knowing with full stack visibility. We'll have a link for you down in the video description. All right, Luke, want to pick a topic or two?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to Chad about Bethesda things.
Oh my gosh. Definitely fan. Still a fan.
You got me started, bro. You got me started. It's not my fault. Yeah, let's do this one. We were talking about AI stuff before we did the jump off topics section, so we'll go back to it for some reason. New York State could ban data center development. New York State has put a temporary hold on any further data center development. Governor Kathy Hochul will have the final say and must decide before December if the state will enact a permanent ban on all data centers that demand 20 megawatts or more of power. As a quote, this is one of the first times that we're really drawing a line in the sand and saying that as a state legislature, we have the responsibility to make sure New Yorkers are in the driver's seat, said New York Senator Kristen Gonzalez. And then again, to quote, big tech has been used to writing their own rules or not having rules that they have to play by, which is, yeah, I mean, fair enough. I feel like, yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what the...
Just for context, a 20 megawatt data center would be approximately 133 SpaceX AI satellite data centers. Just throwing that out there.
That is pretty fun for context, actually.
In case anyone was wondering why some people are pushing back on the idea of AI satellite data centers, it would take 133 of those to build something that's big enough that the state of New York, it wants to ban it.
Wants to ban it. Not the orbit of New York. Yeah. Interesting. I'm trying to rack my brain. What are the primary complaints about data centers being near you? There's
Noise.
Power, obviously. There's water that it's pulling out.
Noise,
There's
ugly.
Noise, I guess. Some people have mentioned the really high-pitched noise as well.
Yep.
Ugly.
Yep.
I'm sure there's like ecological destruction.
Cost. So that's related to the power, but also...
The power cost thing.
Yep.
The power cost thing feels solvable by making the power for the data center...
I think part of it too is like the economic argument for data centers is all the jobs that they create, but that's only while they're building them. Once they're built,
they don't have much afterwards.
Modern data centers require very little in the way of personnel compared to while they are being constructed.
Yeah, totally.
So it's one of those things where when they talk about all the jobs that like AI infrastructure is creating, it's like, yeah, as long as we're chasing infinite growth, then it will, continue to support those jobs. But the second that there's a cutback or bubble burst or the build out is stalled, then they kind of go away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth noting, actually. I think it's kind of funny to I don't know. I don't think I've taken a strong position either way on the building out of data centers. And it's really interesting to see both the good points that both sides of this issue make, and also the somewhat seemingly flawed points that both sides make. Like there's a lot of talk about the water consumption of data centers, and during construction, that is like super true. They use a ton of water, but a big part of that is that it takes a ton of water to like make concrete construction. Like back when I toured Intel's fab, they were showing me the site where they were building like an extension to the fab, and they literally, like the scale of these kinds of projects, they had built their own concrete production facility on site so they could mix and then logistically move around the concrete much more efficiently. And like people don't necessarily recognize like how much water that consumes, but once it's built, as long as they're not using evaporative cooling, which from my understanding is kind of going out of fashion.
From my
it's still
understanding,
a thing.
a lot of these data centers are using evaporative cooling.
The newer stuff seems to be getting away from it though. And so if they're not using evaporative cooling, then their ongoing water consumption is actually pretty low. Yeah, Syphilus says, building a concrete production facility is common in a lot of construction. Yeah, anytime you're doing a large-scale project, it's like, gee, I don't know, should I truck the concrete from there to here in like cement mixers, or should I just make everything here out of the raw materials?
J-Locked said nobody would have an issue with the power issues, water consumption, even noise, etc. if data centers are being used to solve medical mysteries, world hunger, major infrastructure engineering problems, etc., rather than for a few billionaires to spy on us and get even more rich. You are forgetting funny AI cat videos, though. So
yeah. And also forgetting that a lot of people are using it to do legitimately useful things.
Yep. Including, unfortunately, Palantir.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that early in the show. Palantir, again, classic stop clock is right twice a day. Palantir did something good, but also scary because it's Palantir. Porto says, all is forgiven, cute cats. I don't know, man. It's always interesting for me to get boots on the real ground, you know, like talk to people who are outside of my bubble, and especially, don't take this the wrong way, WAN Show viewers, like you guys are like dialed. You're the LTT core, right? And it's always interesting for me to go outside of that bubble and talk to people about this stuff. I was playing badminton in Taiwan. Stop me if I told this story last week on WAN Show. And I was just chatting with one of the players at the club, and he comes up to me. His English is pretty good, and we've chatted a couple times over the years because I come back every year. So people tend to kind of, they're like, oh yeah, that white guy, right? Yeah, hi, it's me. But at some point, he kind of put two and two together, and he started like watching the channels. So now when I showed up, he's like, oh, you know, hey Linus, and he asked me, he's like, what are your thoughts on AI? And I'm like, well, that's a very broad question. You know, I think we're both here to play badminton, not talk about this for the next 3 hours, but I'm going to Uno reverse this. What do you think about AI? And he kind of goes, oh, well, like, again, that's a very broad question. What specifically do you mean? And I'm like, well, like, what do you do for work? You know, what do you use it for? What does your company use it for? You know, like someone boots on the ground, just out there living their life, working, eating, sleeping, playing badminton. I wanted to hear his perspective. And obviously this is a sample size of one. But his response was really interesting to me. He's like, well, I work in like data compliance. And I kind of go, oh, okay. You know, like, what does that mean exactly? He's like, well, we provide services for things like law offices and medical clinics and things like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that gives me a pretty good idea what you guys are up to. And I'm like, okay, so like, how would you say that, you know, AI has changed the way that you guys operate? And he's like, well, we have about the same headcount as we used to, but our marketing department is completely gone. We deploy tons of code to production that is overseen, but very much generated code. It has made us wildly more productive. So we have about the same headcount that we did before we started using it, but our revenue and productivity is like massively up. And where I kind of like, I wanted to poke and prod at that a little bit, right? And I was like, okay, what does this mean for the maintainability
How are you measuring that too?
of these projects? And like, so, how do you measure that? Well, you measure it in revenue. You measure it in completed projects. Apparently it's like,
that's reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in terms of like maintenance, he goes, well, we're real software engineers. So like, we can do that. But using this to like turbocharge our productivity and, completely just eliminate entire departments, has been something that has been very, I'm going to use finger quotes here, successful for them. And that perspective was, like I said before, it was a sample size of 1, right? So let's not treat it as anything deeper than what it is. But when I hear people say, and this is a really common sentiment that shows up in our comments section, in our chat, wherever, that nobody wants this. I kind of go, okay, but that's not actually true. And I think we could argue all day about, where on the spectrum the people who want it and appreciate it and enjoy it and use it and are benefiting from it versus the people who adamantly oppose it and won't touch it. Like we can argue all day about sort of where that split is, right? But what is objectively not true is that either everyone is benefiting from it and they need to just get on board. That's not true. Or nobody wants this. It's purely negative and nobody could benefit. That's also not true. And so I just I'm still taking a very wait and see approach. We use it for some things internally. We've experimented a little bit more with using it externally. I think that there's absolutely a value to specifically calling out when something is not AI, like this. This mouse pad would have functionally no artistic value to me if a human hadn't drawn it. That doesn't mean it would be worthless. I think that someone probably would enjoy an AI-generated desk pad if it was like, cool and they just liked it. They vibed with it. But for me, like this has an artistic value that is, it's just hard to quantify. How do you quantify that, Luke? Can you quantify it?
And how do you properly prove it?
That's.
I think this is.
We've talked about this before.
Problem.
Like how cottage industry and like Etsy is going to have to move to like selling the live stream of you creating the art,
And then how do you prove that the live stream isn't AI generated as well? That whole series gets really weird. But like something I'm kind of running into is there was a game recently that said, I don't know. I think they said that they're using AI stuff for ideation, but they're not going to have it in their finished game. And then they had some, oh man, this isn't a topic in the doc. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. They had some like playable demo and people found AI assets in the playable demo. And the company is basically like, oh, like that wasn't supposed to be there. We didn't like realize that was there. We're going to try to figure out what happened or whatever. I think employers aren't going to be able to even know if their employees are really using it or not.
No. I wouldn't know if Dan was an AI right now.
No response, didn't move at all. Yeah, that would be pretty hard to tell.
Actually, I think an AI might have had less latency on it, so I think he's probably a human.
I'm not an AI, Linus.
That's actually a pretty damn good AI voice.
Now you got to do the like.
You're out of
You can't ask me to do that. I can't. I can't confirm or deny.
It's a small language model.
But yeah, it's like even if it's just for ideation, you can't necessarily control it. Someone maybe they're on their lunch break and they're stuck on an issue and they want to look good for their boss, so they AI brainstorm some junk on their phone. Like you can't.
And it's funny,
cannot.
even very anti-AI people are. It's really interesting to watch the conversations about it, because like we've experimented with using a little bit of AI generated stuff in our thumbnails recently.
I've seen that.
This one was sort of universally disliked for being AI core, except that this is an actual photo of me sitting on that manhole cover. I actually don't know what Sam did with these with the wires. Those weren't there. I'm not sure if he generated them or if he like put some other asset in there.
The sign wasn't there either.
But what's funny is, as much as people hated those wires, one person, as far as I can tell, one person noticed this. This has been up for a month. That's not me.
I noticed that.
Then two people did.
I'm not just trying to like be like,
yeah, that's fine. My own wife, I asked her about this thumbnail, and without prompting her, without like leading her, she basically just started talking about, oh yeah, I think it's, the monitor is cool, or, whatever, but didn't notice that I only have one earring in my left ear. Didn't notice I didn't have braces.
Honestly,
there's a couple little problems
with your eyes. I don't know what it is, but there's something going on with your eyes that tells me something's off.
Sammy noticed it and was like, "Hey, what's up with this?" And I basically was like, "Yeah, it was an interesting experiment. A human still worked on it." So
you want to see something? Sorry.
The AI Linus is AI, but actually the cardboard is AI. But I believe the monitor was Sam's work, and then the background is Sam's work. So a human still like composited everything, but that's not me. And very, very few people noticed, which I thought was really interesting. I had a long conversation with Sammy about it, because he's like, look, is this our direction? Are we just going to stop taking pictures of you and just generate you? I'm like, no. Every video that we've done since then is a real picture of me, for better or for worse. Including, this was another one that people were really upset about, because a Gemini watermark was on the original version of it because that PC case was added with AI. But that was the only thing AI about it. That is otherwise just a photograph of me in the PC build corner. So it was just the case that was thrown on there. So what's funny is, like, the things that people thought were AI about this were not the things necessarily that were actually AI about it. The watermark made some people pretty upset, but then we had one where it was literally completely AI generated Linus, and almost nobody noticed because the watermark wasn't there.
What's fun about that one, and I've probably just seen your freaking face too much, so I recognized it, but because I didn't clue into it based on the cardboard sign or the Linux logo or anything else. It was just, I looked at your eyes and my brain was like,
they're not quite the right color.
So it was that. I don't even know what it was. Just something in my head was like, something's wrong. It's like not him. And I don't know if I wasn't necessarily aware if maybe the editors were just trying to like do touch-ups and went a little bit too far or something like that. But for me, my brain was like, it looks like, it reminds me of AI generated lines.
So that's a fun thing. I've actually had that conversation with our thumbnail artists, because I found that some of our real thumbnails actually do look a little bit AI. This one's not. This is a real picture, but it has the same eye lightening that might trigger the same reflexive response from you as the eyes in the other one, if I had to guess.
Can you like screenshot one of these and then scroll to the other one so we can have both on screen at the same time?
I think we can just have both on.
That one doesn't make me think that it's off. Like, I don't know what it is. There's something about the eyes in that AI one that
I thought this one looked really AI-y, personally.
I thought like the crayon in your hand gives me, or whatever that is, the marker in your hand gives me vibes similar to the cardboard on fire thing. So that might have made me think something was going on there, but yeah. You want to see something on the other end of the spectrum here, real quick?
Sure, yeah.
A content creator I've been enjoying watching for quite a while now, as some like real solid second monitor content. But
All
yeah,
right.
bring it up on YouTube. No, I don't think that's a dig. I think that's part of
All
the
right.
goal. And I'll lock in for interesting segments. But look up Gotham Chess and look at his thumbnails and show those on screen.
Okay, so this is fully embraced
Click on the video tab.
the AI. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And it feels like I don't know what it is, because it's been really interesting to me since he started doing this, actually checking the comments and seeing what the sentiment on it is. You guys are usually second monitor content for me.
Oh.
I don't take that as a dig. WAN Show is like supposed to be second monitor content. Like that's
This is crazy. Sorry, Alex Badminton Academy, who I did a collab with a little while ago, just uploaded a collab with TechChoice. That's cool.
oh nice. That is cool.
Anyway, he's using AI AF in his...
He's clearly using. Oh, this guy is.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
this was another example that I wanted to show, but here we
This
go.
is interesting
Here we go.
because I thought it might have been. See, that doesn't even necessarily. That just looks like he might have done like weird head enlargement or something.
No.
It doesn't necessarily immediately scream out AI to me. The Gotham Chess one, the commenters seem to be having a lot of fun with it. Like I can pretty much guarantee you, if you go to the Gotham Chess video of him as a sumo wrestler and check the comments, that there will be comments like talking about the thumbnail, but in a either neutral but surprised way, or in a like supportive, this has been kind of fun, his like foray into crazy AI thumbnails way.
Here's another completely generated Linus. That is not my racket. Those are not my shoes. I was not wearing shorts.
Your head shape is
Yep.
wrong.
Yeah. So it's the same here. This is completely generated.
Yeah.
So some people are just leaning right into it and no one cares, / it's
But
neutral. And then others are using it a little bit and facing a bunch of backlash. I saw Jay's 2 cents was getting lit up on Twitter about using AI on something. I actually haven't looked at his thumbnails recently.
The thing that I'm stuck on is I can't tell if it's a creator difference, an audience difference, or a style difference.
Yes.
Because with Gotham Chess, there's no real question. It doesn't seem like he's trying to get away with using AI to generate his thumbnails. He's playing with it very openly. It's very obvious. He's not trying to hide it. It's kind of fun. And then the audience seems to be vibing with it. It seems to me, and I am jumping to conclusions here. I don't have a lot of evidence for this, but if I had to wager right now, it seems to me like the thing that's bothering people is when it seems like, I don't know, too normal?
Like when they're trying to, like in the Uncanny Valley. I mean,
I guess, yeah.
it's pretty well documented unease.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just seeing where the community is drawing the line, because there's clearly creators that people are fine with it.
S. John Trombley says, I think it's community difference. I was talking to a VTuber a few weeks ago, and she said you basically get excommunicated if you use AI for anything. Which is interesting because I could see that being a space where it would be used a lot.
Yeah, me too.
In some period of time from now, when that sentiment, when someone is the first one to use it a bunch and be successful anyway.
It's such an interesting realm.
Oh, someone says already happened. Looked up Vidal 987. Are they just like AIAF? I don't even know what I'm looking at here.
VEDAL, it looks like.
Yeah, I can't tell what this is. Neurosama, is that it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to figure this out. Okay. Yeah, I think the AI VTuber. Okay, yeah. This is a deeper rabbit hole than I think I'm going to dive into live on WAN Show. Thank you for flagging that for me, though. Why don't we jump into another topic here? I don't even remember how we got on the subject. Oh yeah, the New York State could ban data center development. All right, cool. Hey, here's a cool thing that some YouTuber /z did. Ziroth put up an incredible video interviewing a bunch of experts and diving into, I'm not going to play the video because you guys need to go watch it. It's 45 minutes, but it is a hard and fast 45 minutes. I can give you guys some of the top level details, but it's worth watching just so you can dive right into it. It's an amazing investigation into Finnish startup Donut Lab, who made waves at CES 2026, claiming to have a revolutionary solid-state sodium-ion battery with 400 watt-hours per kilogram of energy density, a 100,000 cycle life, and 5-minute charging. So put that in context. 400 watt-hours per kilogram, which would be like 33% higher than a pretty solid lithium-ion cell. 100,000 cycle life is functionally a forever cell. Like whatever device you put that battery in would be dead long before you would reach 100,000 cycles. And 5-minute charging,
functionally useless compared to anything else.
Yeah, 5-minute charging, that's nuts. That basically solves it. I mean, oh, hey Luke, I finally got my motorbike.
Yeah, Sammy showed me some pictures. Man, that looks freaking sweet, actually.
Here, Dan,
Are you showing on WAN?
Yeah, I haven't shown the WAN show yet. Wait, how is Dan so far down in my stupid list? Hello? Besser? There he is. All right, I'll send these over and we can fire these up here. Oh, here. I'll also fire you over the picture of discovering why my GPU never showed up in my server after all this time, and I finally got around to opening it up to troubleshoot the problem. Okay, so let's do motorbike picture first. So 5-minute charging. I had to fuel up a vehicle for the first time in a while because my car's electric, and so I had my motorbike back, and it probably took me like 5 minutes because I went to that gas station. You know, the one that you have the loyalty to that doesn't have pay at the pump? Yeah.
Overhill, yeah.
I stopped by there to grab some gas, and so I had to park, and then I had to go inside. I had to leave my credit card with them, which didn't make me deeply comfortable. But they take your credit card as collateral. Then you go put as much gas in the tank as you want. I had no idea how much fuel I needed because it's been 3 years since I fueled my motorbike, 1. And 2, the cost of fuel is so different from the last time I fueled it that even if I did remember how much money I tipped, because I don't remember it in liters, right? So
that got me.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I was able to super accurately guess for a really long time, and then some dude who said he wouldn't start wars or something started a bunch of wars.
No, I didn't say that.
Something, whatever. And now the gas price is insane, and then I can't guess anymore. But yeah, you don't have to. This doesn't matter for the show, but you don't have to leave your card. You can just say a certain amount and then go back in and they'll refund it.
Yeah, but I didn't know, anyways. So I was like, okay, sure, here, take my credit card. I'll put in as much as I can, and then I'll come back and get it. So it probably took me about 5 minutes to then go and fill it, and then go and do the transaction, and then go get back on my bike. So if you could refuel an electric vehicle in 5 minutes. That's functionally, in my experience, so similar to fueling a gasoline car that it might as well be the same thing. A new investigation led by battery researcher Ziroth, pulling in over 20 independent experts, has now concluded that the miracle battery is literally just a standard lithium-ion cell. You'll have to watch the video, but here's a summary of the findings. First up is the voltage curve. The cell sits at 3.7 to 3.8 volts at 50% charge. That is exactly where high nickel lithium-ion cells operate. A real sodium-ion cell doesn't go much past 3.5 volts. Second, and more damning, is the cell expansion data. When a battery charges, ions squeeze into the anode to make it swell in a predictable pattern. A graphite anode produces a distinctive kink in that expansion curve around 50 to 70% charge. The donut cell shows exactly that kink, which is impossible for sodium ion because sodium ions are physically too large to fit into graphite.
Don't shame it.
Researchers compared the combined evidence to having both a fingerprint and a photo of the suspect. Real-world capacity also came in at about 298 watt-hours per kilogram, which is decent for lithium-ion, but nowhere near the 400 that was claimed. Also, the structure behind this thing is a mess of shell companies. The tech traces back to a German firm called CT Coatings, whose patents include things like screen-printed paving slabs and warning triangles. Nordic Nano was supposedly manufacturing the cells, but reportedly never made a single battery. Donut Lab handled the selling. The company raised around $25 million from over 1,300 mostly small investors, which is really sad. These are regular people who put in anywhere from $3,000 to $23,000 each, and then they inflated their valuation to $1.2 billion off of CES hype. Finnish financial and criminal authorities are now investigating. It's nice to hear that there are countries where misrepresenting your product is an actual crime when you take money from investors. That's pretty cool. Our discussion question is, venture capitalists probably would have caught this with basic due diligence. I mean, yes and no. It's Elizabeth Holmes, right? But whatever. So the company went straight to small retail investors who couldn't do that. What does it say about crowdfunded tech that the people with the least protection are the ones left holding the bag? Usually it doesn't work out this way, but boy, when it does, is it ever a giant boatload of suck.
Isn't that sort of always? Okay, let's go back to the... I think I understand you were saying something different than the path I'm going down, to be clear. But
okay.
If we go back to like the NCIX closure, like the banks and stuff get paid out first, right? Like the really big...
Yeah, it's a different thing, like bankruptcy proceedings versus like venture capital.
Okay.
But a lot of the time, the larger organizations have, in both cases, either the due diligence capacity or the legal clout to better protect themselves compared to small mom and pop investors. Yeah, it's a definite problem on both sides.
Yeah.
Anyway, super disappointed to hear about this. I never claimed to know enough about cell chemistry to have taken a strong stance one way or the other, which is, which means that, I was hopeful that it was a cool, awesome solid state battery thing, but I also wasn't sure that it wasn't. Like, I just didn't really have a position on it, and now I'm...
Well, that's also why it's cool that Ziroth is doing this.
I'm glad to have closure. Yeah.
Yeah, and somebody who does know what they're doing is working on it. YouTube is such a cool place.
And hey, I guess I'm ready to show my finished paint job. It's an 8-foot job, but I took these pictures from 8 feet away, so it should look pretty good. Throw it up there. So that's it.
Damn, that's actually so sick.
That's it.
I saw them on Sammy's little phone, but they look way better full.
This is kind of in the shadow, away from the sun. You can really see on the front wheel how there's kind of a bit of a color shift to it. So yeah, Dan, do you want to go ahead and... There she is. So same here. You can kind of see how it looks little bit. This is more in the sun, so it looks a little lighter toward the back of the bike. This is just like pictures on my fold. Yeah, there she is. The shop did an amazing job of putting her back together. There's a lot of problems with the paint job, like I said. Not least of which is that there's some adhesion issues between the white paint layer and the primer that are going to make it not last that long. But for a 2003, boy, does she ever look pristine right now. New exhaust.
Awesome.
Sounds amazing. I'm not normally like, oh man, yeah, you should check out my exhaust. Well, it sounds so good. I'm not really that type, but they managed to do what I was. You can take it away. Thanks, Dan. They managed to do what apparently I was the very first person to ever ask for. The original exhaust, the main issue with it is that it didn't match at all because it was like silver and like giant and ugly, and B had a bunch of damage on it from either the previous owner or I. Both of us dropped the bike at some point or another, so it had some damage from that. So I needed a new exhaust, and I was like, okay, so I want a quiet one. And they were like, nobody's ever asked for that before. What are you talking about? Nobody ever wanted to make their motorcycle quieter. And I was like, yeah, but like I like my V-twin. I like that it doesn't like scream. I like that it's, modestly loud. And
That's
anyway,
actually really funny.
Yeah. So I found this carbon fiber pipe that was compatible with my bike, and I was like, hey, what about this one? This doesn't like advertise being super loud. So they got it, and they got a baffle for it. So it has like a deep growl, but it's not super loud. I actually really like it. It sounds amazing. Nice. Josh in Canada asked, what's your organ donor status? I'm a proud organ donor. If I don't need them, I'd be happy to have somebody else have them. So.
Yeah, I honestly had I was riding scooters in Taiwan part of this last week, and I genuinely had the thought of like, would my organ donor card work here? Like what happens if you die in a foreign country? I don't know, but I'm still alive, so no real reason to keep thinking about it. Do we want to talk about the creepy dude stalking Rockstar's office?
Sure.
User then pomegranate-625, which sounds like the most Reddit-generated, auto-generated username ever, posted on a subreddit. Yeah, okay. Posted on a GTA 6 fan subreddit this week about a decreased oxygen levels on the weekends, which this user believes is executives meeting after business hours at the headquarters to discuss marketing/trailer 3. This same user has been tracking audio levels around the office to see if they can identify key topics and trends, as well as having counted cigarette butts left outside to try to identify higher levels of stress.
So I'd like to jump in real quick here and say this is a prime example of how a behavior may be legal, but that doesn't mean that it demonstrates good social skills.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
Oh my goodness.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny until you're a Rockstar employee who feels deeply uncomfortable about knowing that this guy is there and like...
You see him, like, you go outside for a smoke, and then you see him, like, scurry up afterwards, and he, like, picks up your cigarette with tweezers and gets it, like, DNA scanned. Like, It's definitely wacky. Yeah.
Yeah, there's what did we used to say back in the late 90s, early 2000s? Get a life.
Oh, yeah.
That was before touch grass. That was what we used to say.
Yeah.
Get a fucking life.
Touch grass is pretty good.
Touch grass is pretty good, but also
They're
do
both
more than
pretty
touch
good.
grass. Actually,
touch
like
grass and get a life.
Go beyond.
He might have touched grass in the process of this. He actually probably did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it doesn't work anymore. Good news, other topic. Ampere is back. Videocards.com with a Z reports that Manly has listed new GeForce RTX 3050 and 3060 cards on their website. The 3060 M2521 plus N630 is the older 12 gig model with 3,584 CUDA cores at 1320.
I don't think you have to read every stupid clock speed.
1777 megahertz, blah, 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 things you don't care about. There's also a 3050 coming. I think I mentioned that previously. Manly's webpage does not list North American distribution, but Tech PowerUp reported that early May. But a Tech PowerUp report from early May names ASUS, Colorful, and MSI as partners in at least the RTX 3060 resurrection expected later this month. The likely reason for the 3000 series returning versus the 4000 is foundry availability. The 3000 series GPUs are built on Samsung's 8nm node, while the 4060 shares the same Nvidia 4nm node as the 5060. So yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
I think that's a typo. I think they mean TSMC rather than Nvidia there. I'll fix that for you. So just for context, the 3060 12 gig originally launched in 2021.
Yeah, it's still a pretty capable card though.
But how sad is that? That it's been 5 years and that
is that video out?
And that the 3060 12 gig would be an acceptable gaming GPU today.
No, I
I remember when we used to get new GPUs every year instead of waiting 5 years for, what did we get, 2 generations in that time? And with no 6000 series on the horizon, I don't think there's any rumors swirling, which basically means we're 6 to 12 months out, at least.
There's a video coming from I'm going to be incredibly vague here, a creator who like charted a bunch of, I'm going to have to just keep being really vague because I think it's not out yet. A bunch of things that have been happening over a bunch of years. No, it's not that one. Yeah, I don't think it's out yet. But it's rough, man. Since it felt good, basically, it's been bad. What a boring, obvious statement. But it's like even worse than I thought when you see it charted out.
This sounds like a Paul video. I'm calling it.
I don't know. I can't say. But 3060, I've talked so many times on this show about somebody running Arc Raiders on a 1080, and then you get to a 3060, and now you've got some ray tracing going on and some of the new software features and stuff. A little bit of ray tracing. A little bit.
Some light ray tracing.
DLSS. A little bit of things going on here or there. 12 gigs of VRAM should also really help.
Yeah.
The 3050, I know, people need affordable options, but the 3050, mostly because of the VRAM, really feels like it starts to become...
That's a pretty underpowered card today.
Yeah. 3050 6 gig is
we're getting dangerously close to modern iGPUs being somewhat competitive.
Totally.
With it.
Yeah, so that's a lot less interesting to me. But that 3060 12 gig is a serious card. You can get some stuff done with that. That's not too bad. Yeah.
I'm supportive of this overall. Anything that makes GPUs more plentiful and or more affordable, I am all for. I wish this wasn't the solution, because this is effectively Nvidia scrapyard wars. We're manufacturing old GPUs instead of going on Facebook Marketplace to obtain them, but fine.
It's the fabled just buy everything from the store scrapyard wars.
Yeah. If this is what it takes to get slightly more affordable GPUs, then I guess I'll take it.
Well, I think one thing that I'm really hoping to come from this is just that people that just need a GPU that, say, has 12 gigs of VRAM and can do a few things, there will be more options for that, because if there's more total output of graphics cards, people that need at least that amount of performance will have more options. Hopefully that'll ease up the used market, do some things, help prices here or there.
Yeah,
will any of that actually happen? Kind of doubt it, but I can hope.
Hey, here's a fun one. Nintendo of Europe to pay 35 million euros in fines due to Joy-Con drift. In response to faulty Joy-Cons, a complaint from a French consumer organization was filed claiming that Nintendo of Europe misled customers by failing to disclose Joy-Con controller defects transparently, which caused consumers to buy unnecessary replacement controllers. Nintendo has agreed to pay 35 million euros, about $40 million US dollars, after a French regulator found them liable. Nintendo of Europe said in a statement that it did not intentionally mislead customers, and that this settlement does not constitute an admission of guilt and reflects only the amicable resolution of legal proceedings. According to a UK watchdog, over 40% of Switch Joy-Cons have experienced stick drift. It is remarkable to me that a company the size of Nintendo managed to not fix that.
Yeah.
I don't...
Pretty wild.
I don't get it. And like that, my own experience with Joy-Cons backs this up. Like, I think over 40% of our first generation Joy-Cons drift now. And it's not like they've been used super extensively. Like they've been used, but I think 3 of us have like finished Breath of the Wild. My son played one of the Pokemon games on Switch. Like there's maybe, if I were to add it up, like 400 hours of gaming across 3 sets of Joy-Cons. Like, it's not a ton. Pretty rough. Unique username says 60% of people have a life outside of playing Nintendo games. No, because you don't even have to play that much for them to break. Oh yeah, I guess so. They have a life that basically does not include Nintendo games, because it's from my understanding, it's like a fundamentally flawed design, right? Like it will drift. Is that correct? It's just a matter of when it dies.
I think so.
Linus explains joke makes it not funny. Sorry.
Sorry, I got to read something for a sec. What do we have next, though? You want to do Apple introduces Siri AI?
Yeah, I can do that. At WWDC on Monday, Apple announced its second attempt at Apple Intelligence, which it is calling Siri AI, but it's Gemini under the hood. According to Apple, the new Siri AI can draw on personal context from your messages, emails, and photos, get up-to-date answers from the web, use on-screen awareness to tailor its assistance based on the app you're using, use all of that information along with apps on your device to perform tasks on your behalf. Craig Federighi took a pointed shot at other AI companies during the keynote, saying some are racing forward, seemingly pursuing AI for the sake of AI without clear regard for the people it's meant to serve. But according to Craig, Apple's approach is to focus on making AI that improves the lives of their customers. Apple also attempted to differentiate themselves from other companies by saying that everything is built privacy first, with anything that leaves the device handled by private cloud compute, which the company says does not store or share user data and can be audited by outside experts. A presenter demoed Siri AI by asking it about a concert in San Francisco. Sorry, I'm going to short aside here. What is it with every big tech company using going to concerts as a demo lately? Google just did it. Okay, just Apple and Google, fine, whatever. But it feels like it comes up a lot. Are concerts not like really, really expensive now?
Yeah.
This feels like, you know how back in the day Apple would show you all their new calendar features during the keynote, and like the example calendar they have has like wake up and do yoga, and then just like a bunch of chill time. They have like 4 events in a given day, and I'm like, yeah, this is why I can't use your calendar, because my calendar will have like 25 things on it, and your data density is so low on your calendar that I like can't see any of it at once. Like, does it just feel like the executives are just building the products to do the things that are relevant to them and to no one else? Like, as Apple's C-suite has aged, their focus on like health-related products and fall monitoring stuff seems to have advanced along with them. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of a funny observation. You know what? I'll move on. Anyway, they asked it to about a concert in San Francisco, asked it to set a reminder to sign up for the ticket lottery, and then pull a friend's new address out of a message and generate driving directions. Pretty cool, pretty useful. A second demo had Siri plan a World Cup watch party for the Brazil versus Morocco match, getting Siri AI to plan a menu for the event, including a dessert idea, which was pulled out of a text. Some other things were demoed, including improved visual intelligence capable of doing stuff like splitting a bill with Apple Cash or surfacing nutritional information from a plate of food. Also better dictation and more customizable voices. Apple is also launching a dedicated Siri app that uses iCloud to privately sync your conversation history across your devices. Right now, Siri AI is available for developer testing and will launch as a public beta later this year. Discussion question. Do you think this approach to AI is better than other companies?
Well, I was reading other stuff during a decent amount of this, but
Nice,
it looks
okay, I'll
like
talk
it's
about it.
local first and privacy focused and stuff, and that
Yeah.
seems beneficial. That
Yeah.
seems good.
It's funny. I took a lot of flack when I was talking about the RTX Spark launch in our video walking in the park at Computex. Like Linus is changing his tune. It's like, well, yeah. When I'm presented with new information, I change my perspective. If I didn't do that, you should not listen to me at all. I like local AI. Local AI seems pretty cool. I don't like, Sam Altman listening in on everything that I'm, confiding in my AI. That I'm super not into. But anything that I can run locally, I'm actually, as long as it's legitimately useful, I'm kind of excited about. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Nvidia's demos were really cool. Apple's demos here look pretty compelling. I need to see it actually work, because I've heard all of this before, and the jaded part of me is like, okay, what's going to be different this time? But if it's cool, then it's cool.
The demons through the portal. It's like it's already here. I think like local. If you hate it, local's the way to go. If that makes sense, because you're don't pay for anything at that point other than hardware, I guess. Hopefully you can use the same hardware you already have, but if you're not fortunate to have super expensive computer hardware, then I guess you need to buy computer hardware. You can try to get off the used market or something to do whatever. But anyways, by going the local route, you can keep up to speed, but not directly be paying or feeding data into some of these massive AI companies. So if that's your biggest gripe, which I think it's the biggest gripe for a lot of people, you can avoid that with local. And with Odysseus being out there, local is more approachable than ever. And as far as I can tell, it's just going to keep being more and more approachable over time, which is fantastic.
I can relate to a lot of the other gripes. I mean, the fact that this whole technology was built with data that was stolen from creators, including
I totally
me,
get that.
by the way, like me personally. The fact that I was able this probably could use.
I mean, it's also true for like anyone who had a Reddit account. Like this isn't necessarily like special to any individual person. Like if you were a member of the internet, your information was stolen.
Like this could probably use a little bit more context, but I managed to get OpenAI to generate this picture before the show with basically no difficulty whatsoever.
Sorry, I just got jump scared by Sammy. How long have you been there? Holy crap! What the heck?
That was like some poltergeist stuff right there. That was amazing.
I had no idea he was there. Oh my god. Wow. Thanks, Sammy. Sorry, Lance.
No, you're good.
Whoa.
And that image that I generated was in spite of ChatGPT refusing multiple times to generate it on the basis of that it was against its, what did it say? Against its terms. So it was clearly clearly trained on like me, like my actual creative output, and probably almost every single one of you as well. And that's crap. That's pretty crap.
No, I completely agree with that.
But it's
my
also
thing
out
is,
there.
Yes. My thing is that happened, and that can be terrible, and we can all agree that that's terrible, and we can all agree that these big companies are profiting off of looting all of that from all of us. And I think the biggest way, if you just really want to get back at them for it, the best way to do that is local.
Run it in a way that they profit 0 and gain data 0. Because then at least...
You might as well use the stuff that was stolen from you. Yes, it's using things that was stolen from other people as well. And that's its own ethical...
And that sucks.
...quandary.
And that's pretty crap.
I don't have much more to say on that, to be completely honest.
Thanks,
it's
Forrest.
just brutal. But I think people are very actively, I know quite a few people right now that are using this stuff to accelerate themselves in ways that are making them much more much more competitive.
I like that. Competitive.
Than their peers. Competitive.
Able to compete.
And if you can do that with local systems, then you're able to keep up with those people and not profit these big organizations. And I think that's a cool, at least option. At least option. At the very least, I think you can go with the performant combo of having the why did I blank on the name? The frontier models, and using that for special high difficulty stuff if you want, and then having the local models for everything else. And you can do some really... I hear people talk about how the frontier models are so much further ahead than the local models. I think that's overplayed a little bit. The frontier models are quite clearly ahead, but I think in the use cases that, as far as I can tell, most people are using AI for, you can really do a lot of that with local models.
Yep.
And then, as I said earlier in the show, when you really do need to push it, you can switch your model to one of the frontier models. You can do that in Odysseus. You can have both cloud-based frontier models, whatever, and you can have local models running through the same UI. So yeah, own it yourself. I think that's the only real way. Yeah.
One day after it was...
A group of people looted the Library of Alexandria. They took it all, but somehow you're able to get a copy of that. I think you should take it.
No, it's not really related. One day after its discovery, Meta has pulled the unreleased facial recognition system out of its smart glasses companion app. Wired revealed that the code was sitting on more than 50 million phones. The system was internally called NameTag, and according to Wired, it was designed to convert faces captured by the glasses into unique biometric signatures, then compare those face prints against a database stored on the user's device. Wired also reported that any faces the system failed to recognize were cropped, indexed, and stored locally on the phone for future processing. Note that Meta refused to answer Wired's questions on whether the biometric data would be sent back to Meta's servers. The feature was never turned on, but the machinery was already built into the Meta AI app as early as January, even as Meta publicly said it had made no final decision about face recognition. NameTag first surfaced in the news in February when the New York Times cited internal Meta documents showing the company was weighing a launch as soon as this year, with one memo reportedly describing releasing it during a dynamic political environment when privacy and civil liberties advocates would be distracted.
Yeah.
After Wired's first report, Meta VP of Communications Andy Stone said the company could not answer questions about how the system would work because, this is a quote, "the feature does not exist." The updated Meta AI app strips out the face recognition software. You doing okay over there, Dan?
This current year is absurd. This is just...
Do you need? You know what? Remove him. Remove the thing.
Okay.
Remove the thing. It counts. It counts if Dan can't anymore. The updated Meta app strips out the face recognition software, including the code that ran the name tag recognition process, the person recognized alert that the app would have shown, and the folder where the app would have stored cropped images and biometric signatures of unidentified faces. Our discussion question is there anything we can do to protect our privacy when this kind of tech simply even exists? I mean, there's those cool camera rejecting reflective accessories you can wear. I don't think it helps if they aren't emitting IR. So, trying to think what else we got. Not go in public, says Scrappy DP. Way ahead of you there. If I wasn't a YouTuber, I would just hang out in my house. What else we got?
If you're in semi-private places, I don't know why I'm saying semi-private. I mean private places, but I'm not necessarily including only like your house. If you're in like, say, your friend's house,
Right?
Something like that, or a business like a restaurant. You might be able to make it the rule of the business or restaurant, or those are the same thing, whatever, or maybe a house rule that you can't wear these glasses when you're in those places. The tough part is that this rhymes to me with the Palantir saving a bunch of lives and also stealing all of your precious data that you could ever have in return, which is, it's going to be really hard to tell people, hey, you can't wear your glasses that you might need to see.
Yeah, because they'll have a prescription in there, and they might not have prescription not smart lenses, because these things are, you can hate it all you want, but it's going to go mainstream. Like, it's going to go, people just have them.
They might not have their other glasses on them,
Yep.
so they might just not be able to see if you want your privacy.
Yeah.
Which is these cost exchanges are going to make it very socially difficult. It would be very socially difficult to say no to the Palantir thing in the eyes of someone potentially dying. It would be very socially difficult to say, no, you can't wear your glasses to someone who actually needs them to be able to see, and they just also happen to be able to surveil everyone that's in your location. The other problem is you can definitely just mod them so that the indicator light does not go on when you record video. So, like, it's over already. It barely started, and it's over. If someone has these glasses, you have no real way of knowing they might be recording you. Like, it's done. That includes in bathrooms. That includes in a huge variety of places. I'm trying to imagine, like, there are a variety of places around the world. I was there recently, so I was just thinking of it recently. But even here in Taiwan, they have certain hot springs that are like nude hot springs. In Japan, they have the onsens, where you're not really supposed to wear clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you would still be able to wear glasses. What if you can't see without your glasses? You would have to be able to wear glasses. Right?
Yeah.
I suspect cameras aren't exactly welcome at like nude beaches. There's nude beaches in North America. I'm not just trying to centralize this to Asia. But someone would be allowed to wear their glasses. The thing is, like, glasses can get in a lot of places that cameras can't. And are much more socially acceptable to point at things because you're pointing at it with your face.
Oh, man. Mahdi CH says, at Luke and Linus, time to trim the people you hang out with. It's like, I wish it was that simple, you know? Like, it's not that simple. Like, with acquaintances, sure, maybe you could do that. But with, like, longtime friends, you're going to terminate a friendship over someone wearing AI glasses. Some people might. Most people won't. What about family?
Most people won't.
Are you going to excommunicate family over them wearing AI glasses?
This is the exact thing I just mentioned, where it's socially difficult. That's what I meant by this.
Yeah.
It is going to be socially difficult to the point of not possible for a lot of people to do that.
Mind Paradox flagged the solution for us here. great moment from The Princess Bride. I don't know if you guys have audio. Oh, Lordy. Why do I suck at this? Yeah, fixed. There you go. There we go. Ready?
Were you wearing a mask? Were you burned by acid or something like that?
Oh no, it's just they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future.
It's a great line. Masks are terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future. So, because he asks why he wears a mask. Yeah, so that's an option. Everyone could just wear masks. Also high social friction. I think when you walk into the bank in your bandit mask, they probably will ask you to remove it. Yeah, Grellwing says, I can't even get family to care about basic web privacy. Little chance I can get them to care about the privacy implications of devices like this, given an interesting feature set. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh man, I didn't even think about like coworkers. Imsys says the CEO at my old company wore the Facebook Oakley glasses to the office regularly. Yeah, so friends, family, yeah, don't forget about like your boss.
People
You're gonna tell your boss,
wear them all
okay,
the time.
you wear Facebook glasses, I quit. Some people might have the luxury to do that. I guarantee you not everybody does.
Most people won't. The vast majority of most people won't. Man, somebody said something in here. Where'd it go? No. Someone said places are successfully banning them. And I think I mentioned earlier that like you might be able to ban them in certain businesses and private places as well. But I think Linus's for now is really important here. I'm not necessarily certain why he's saying for now, but my reason for now is what about when it's not just Meta?
Yep.
How do you keep up with all of the different glasses that are smart enabled?
Dude, look at how many like tablets there are on AliExpress. How many brands of smartwatches there are. You give it another 5 years, and there's going to be literally 1,000 different options for smart glasses. They are going to be smaller and sleeker than anything that we're looking at today.
It's going to become very difficult to tell if there's a camera in it at all.
And in parallel, people are going to just sigh and shrug and go, well, it's inevitable, and are going to be less vigilant, and it's just going to they're going to get harder to notice, and people are going to care less, and those points are going to intersect, and they will just kind of be everywhere. And I hate to be defeatist about it, and by all means, you should advocate strongly in your social circle for people, not wearing them in situations where there's an expectation of privacy, and advocating for yourself and what you're comfortable with. I won't be super surprised when it maybe doesn't work. What will work is telling you about our next batch of sponsors, though. The show is brought to you by Squarespace. Your website says a lot about who you are, how you operate, and the types of customers you wish to attract. So it shouldn't look like this. It should be easy to understand and navigate. Thankfully, our sponsor Squarespace makes it easy to build a website for your business that does just that. To get started, you just pick from one of their stylish templates or create something more custom with their design intelligence tool. It's more than just looks, though. There's plenty of tools under Squarespace's hood that will help with things like SEO and monetization. From there, you can keep track of how your business is doing, adjust your website on the fly, and make sure that potential visitors get the most out of what you have to offer. We've even used Squarespace for our Linus Media Group website for many, many, many years now. So start building your website today and get 10% off your first purchase by visiting squarespace.com/WAN. Our last sponsor for today is actually a site that I was on yesterday because I was playing around with my NAS. Dan, you can show that picture. Luke, this is why my GPU wasn't showing up. I completely forgot that when we built it, we planned to open it back up at a later date, and add like an Oculink to PCIe or M.2 to PCIe riser or something to run this GPU as a compute device, and then just never got to it. So it literally wasn't even plugged in.
Well, there's your problem.
Anyway, I fixed that yesterday. And I was firing up server parts deals because I was like, oh yeah, like how's my server capacity? Do I need any more drives? And they're a great place. Okay, sorry, I'll read the thing. Wait lists for the newest hard drives can sometimes be months long. And if you're not a hyperscaler, you're probably not a priority. Well, Server Parts Deals has shipped they have tens of thousands of drives in stock, and even orders of 100 drives or more can often be shipped same day. Everything is tested once they get them, even recertified Western Digital and Seagate drives. They get an initial smart test, FIO throughput across multiple parts of the disk, a full surface bad block scan, and then another smart to make sure that nothing changed. For larger businesses or data center buildouts, they also do buybacks. Or if you're upgrading your system, they can help offset the cost. Do you need hard drives fast? Skip the wait list with Server Parts Deals. We'll have a link down below. Sorry, it's Server Part Deals, isn't it? Hold on, I'm going to double check. I can never remember.
It's parts.
I thought it was parts, but my talking points say part.
It's part.
It is
You're
part.
right.
It is part. Don't go to Server Parts Deals. I don't know what the heck that is. Server Part Deals. Good job, Linus. Good podcast sponsor, Reed. Way to go. Screw up the name of the company. Thank you for that, Dan. That's very helpful.
He's a professional. He's been doing this for 12 years.
All right. Okay,
One
you got
way
to
to
do the
get
next
real
topic because I got to run to the washroom.
Okay, sure. One way to get real confused about pricing is to load up Server Part Deals and have it automatically have the currency be in new Taiwanese dollars and have a hard drive cost $20,000. Anyways, I was like, whoa, what happened? We're good. It's okay. Yeah, sure, we'll do this one. No, Linus will probably want to talk about that. Let's see.
Or we could get a couple of comms out of the way.
Yeah, this one's interesting. Sorry?
Or we could get a couple comms out of the way for you specifically, or do a topic, whatever you want. I don't think it'll be long.
If you've got comms for me, we can do that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not? Let's see.
If not, I got a topic here.
Okay, cool. If you haven't heard, there's a major Arch AUR supply chain attack happening right now.
I have heard about that. I don't know all the details, but yeah, I have heard about that. That sucks. I think... I feel like the server side of Linux is probably pretty well monitored in terms of security, but with the user base on the desktop side being as small as it has been for years, I don't know. It's gonna get stress tested a little bit as there are waves and waves of people moving from Windows over there, and the honeypot of being able to attack desktop Linux systems grows. It's going to become more and more attractive for attackers. So we'll see how it all goes. I had at least one person reach out to me being like, are you okay? Because you're on cache? I guess somewhat luckily for me, my laptop is not. My laptop is running Mint and Windows. My desktop is running cache in Windows, and I've been traveling for the last 2.5 weeks, so my desktop is at home and powered down. So it has not hit me, and as far as I've heard, it's been fixed since then. So yeah. Someone in chat said basically someone was, S. John Trombley in chat said basically someone was adopting orphaned AUR packages and adding malicious calls to npx in the install scripts. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people love the AUR. I tend to try to lean away from it. I don't even know why. I've never actually had a reason. This was not a reason. And honestly, moving forward, I don't think this would be a reason. I've just liked other ways of installing things so far. But, you know, you do what you got to do sometimes. Anyways, you have another one?
Yeah, what's your LLM of choice?
Ooh.
Flavor of the month?
Yeah, kinda. And if you're running like T3 chat, it's really easy to skip through and use whichever one you want. They have a huge variety of options and they keep them up to date. I find that's kind of a fun way to use things is T3 chat because you can try so many different things out, and they have so many different options. If you want to stay on top of things, that can be good if you're not running local stuff. If you're running something like Odysseus, you can cookbook every once in a while and see what things are good for you to run right now. I don't necessarily even recommend having like one specific model of choice. I think you kind of want to keep pushing, keep progressing with all the things. If you're like up with the times enough to be using AI stuff in general, you might as well be up with the times enough to be mobile with models to make sure that you're using the right stuff, the best stuff you can. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Canada's under 16 social media ban?
Sure. I don't know a ton about it, but yeah.
The Canadian federal government has introduced Bill C-34, legislation that would ban kids under 16 from using social media platforms, particularly Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. The bill defines social media broadly as any site or app that lets users access and share content across provincial and global borders. Companies can get a pass if they set up proper safety measures for kids. However, the exact criteria will come later via official regulation. If passed, it would also put the responsibility on websites to protect children from harmful content, including cyberbullying. The bill would also create a digital safety commission to monitor sites for compliance, conduct audits, issue compliance orders, and dish out fines of either 3% of a company's global revenue or 10 million CAD, whichever's higher. Interestingly, AI chatbots won't be banned for kids under 16, but companies will need measures in place to deal with users expressing intent to commit violence or self-harm. The bill would not, however, require chatbot companies to report these interactions to police. So our discussion question is, unlike Australia's flat ban, this bill, if passed, would let platforms earn an exemption by proving adequate safeguards that don't exist yet. Is this a genuinely smarter way to incentivize big platforms to fix infinite scroll and addictive algorithms, or is it just a lobbying backdoor where the exemption criteria gets watered down until everyone qualifies and nothing changes? I think only the time will tell. Electrobot asks a really good question. Maybe this is a more interesting discussion question. Why is this the only time we've ever heard of a fine that is a percentage of global revenue? That seems pretty smart.
It does seem pretty smart.
If you want companies to actually, stop doing a thing.
Yeah, and the whichever is higher is like, ooh. Usually it's like whichever limit you reach first. This one's the opposite. It's kind of fun. It feels even weird to admit, but I have some hope in this being a genuinely smarter way to incentivize big platforms to fix infinite scrolling and addictive algorithms over the loophole thing. The current Canadian admin has been doing, not every step is perfect, but has been doing some good stuff, and I have hope for the first time in a long time. So,
are you ready for the other shoe to drop?
Oh boy.
Signal, DuckDuckGo, among firms weighing Canada exit over lawful access bill.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, this one blows.
The big names in the VPN and privacy industry are threatening to pull out of Canada over Bill C-22, the lawful access bill, which would force service providers to retain user metadata for up to a year and build in ways for police and CSIS to access it. While the bill mainly targets core providers like the big satellite and telecom companies, VPNs are involved, as the public safety minister can issue secret ministerial orders forcing any provider to comply. These orders only need sign-off from the intelligence commissioner. No judicial warrant needed, and providers aren't allowed to publicly say that the order exists. Signal told Parliament that it would rather leave than betray its users. DuckDuckGo confirmed that it would pull its VPN, and NordVPN said it would consider all options, including leaving Canadian jurisdiction. Canadian-based Windscribe was the bluntest, saying it pays, quote, an ungodly amount of taxes to a government that now wants to spy on its own citizens, and flatly stated that it will move its HQ out of the country if the bill passes. Even big tech has
apparently
objections.
this is directly supported by the current governing body, so I gotta take back what I said. My bad.
Even big tech, well, I don't think you have to necessarily take back what you said. You did say, with some exceptions.
I guess this will be an extremely strong exception.
Apple, Google, and Meta have all pushed back on the bill, and Apple has already shown its willingness to follow through on this kind of pushback, having killed its encrypted cloud service in the UK over a similar sort of backdoor order. The Public Safety Minister says amendments are coming to clarify that breaking encryption won't be allowed, but is holding firm on the 1-year retention period. Our discussion question is, if privacy-focused services actually exit Canada, does the bill end up making Canadians less safe by pushing them towards sketchier offshore alternatives? Or is that an acceptable trade-off for giving police the tools they say they need?
There's offshore alternatives that aren't that sketchy.
Yeah.
I think if people are using VPNs now in Canada, they will continue to be able to do so.
If China, with all of its technological wherewithal, cannot figure out how to actually maintain the Great Firewall, don't get me wrong, Canada, love you, you're cool, beavers, rocks and trees, modern stuff, very cool. I don't think you're going to pull off keeping offshore privacy tools out of Canada anyway. So I'm not convinced that this is going to make much of a difference. I could just continue to subscribe to Windscribe, who is now based in Europe somewhere. I don't know. I don't actually use Windscribe. I use PIA, but same diff. I'll just continue to subscribe to whatever service I already use in all likelihood. Norgard says that this is deeply crappy, but would also depressingly only bring them up to parity with the Patriot Act. I actually don't know much about the Patriot Act. I haven't thought about it since, like, Actually, has Snowden been in the news at all recently?
I don't think so.
Is it
I
live
looked
still?
him up recently, actually. It seems like it. Yeah, he's still living in Russia, it seems.
Okay. Hasn't been drafted or anything?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's got to be an uncomfortable situation right now.
What else we got here? AMD claims that its 256-core Zen 6 Venice CPU beats Nvidia's Vera by 3.3x in rack-level performance. They presented early projections showing that with both configured to the same 100,000-watt rack power envelope, they could dramatically outperform NVIDIA's upcoming CPU. The comparisons based on estimated and modeled performance data, not completed side-by-side benchmarks of shipping products, and AMD describes the results as preliminary projections intended to indicate expected performance trends rather than final measured outcomes. Basically, this presentation was a response to NVIDIA's own early Vera benchmarking campaign, which was based on NVIDIA-controlled testing. AMD's projections were built using methodology that was derived from those Vera results. And my notes go on, fight. I mean, it's competition. It's cool. Always fun to grab a bucket of popcorn and watch. I do really feel that AMD might be maybe intentionally missing the point a little bit here. I don't think anybody expects Vera to be like a top performing CPU. I think the whole point of it is just the deep integration with the new Rubin GPUs. And I don't think NVIDIA is trying to go for the general purpose CPU market, at least not at this time. But hey, you know what? Keep fighting AMD. Still kind of rooting
Yeah.
for you, even though you kind of really fucked it up on the Threadripper side. Me too,
and
Dan.
Speaking of segues, drone boat picked up downed U.S. Army helicopter pilots, a first for sea rescues. After a U.S. Army helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz while on patrol, its 2 pilots were rescued by a Corsair boat drone built by Saronic, a startup that makes autonomous surface vessels, or ASVs. Using the vessel's 360-degree passive sensors, the Navy's Task Force 59 located the downed crew and picked them up within 2 hours, ferrying them to a safe spot on the water for a helicopter pickup. Important note, the Corsair's embedded AI software stack does the heavy lifting, handling immediate, moment-to-moment navigation. It dynamically plans paths around changing sea states and is supposedly able to continuously wait in position and regulate fuel and power consumption, only engaging the engine when needed. Per Saronic specs, the Corsair model is a 24-foot ASV, we previously defined that can haul up to 1,000 pounds across 1,000 nautical miles. I really like that number. With a top speed of, nope, not 1,000, 40 miles per hour. Saronic has 2 other larger ASV models as well, and notably, this is believed to be the first unmanned sea rescue in U.S. military history, performed by boats that only entered into service in March. Imagine being the recipients of that. Yeah.
I'm just looking for something. There's one last maybe topic here. Here we go. I'm going to forward this to Dan. Daniel Besser. There he is. All right, before we get to After Dark, Eshtek asked really nicely for me to do a bit of an update from them. So if you're not familiar, Eshtek makes HexOS, which is the NAS software that I backed a little while ago. I did. It'll take a second. So it's based on TrueNAS, but it's like a simplified front end / also becoming a lot more than that, which is exactly what they wanted me to talk about. HexOS lets you do so much more. Here are a few things. App pre-config. This feature is coming very soon in June, possibly next week. The first set of apps will be Plex, Jellyfin, and Emby. And what app pre-config is basically like a one-click setup of apps like Plex. And they sent over a pretty cool little demo. Dan, do you have that HexOS Plex preconfig.mp4? Did you get the email yet? Nope, got him. Cool. Okay, so just to make it clear, this is never forced, but the goal is just to reduce the amount of steps required and cognitive load on the user to get a functional app experience, making apps far more app-like and far less figure out a whole bunch of crap-like. Let me know when you're ready, Dan. Nope. Check this out, Luke. Ready? Yeah, go for it. There's a 1-minute time lapse, but basically this is the whole thing. So see that pre-configure thing? So you sign in to your Plex because obviously, like, they can't sign in for you. You have to do that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. There's your name. And here we go. So it obviously has to install the Docker. And then on the left is the old way. This is actually a pretty cool little demo that they put together. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Go find folders. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Finish configuring all the folders.
Are they going to do this for Jellyfin? Have they done this for Jellyfin already?
Plex, Jellyfin, and Emby will be the first set of apps with this pre-configure thing.
Cool.
Launch. So if you're using their pre-configured folder structure, which the idea is that you will, There it is. Oh, I love that. That's a nice touch. Got the LTT screwdrivers in the pictures there.
Yeah.
Coming soon. MB and Jellyfin out of the box linking between the R apps and Qubit torrent and much more. Okay, so they're being pretty explicit about that. Okay, thank you for that. John.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, what else they got? Additional app curations are also available now. So these are ones that are just like validated, but don't have necessarily that one-click setup. So Flatter, that's a Jellyfin front end. JellyStat, statistics app for Jellyfin and MB. Seer is a request management and media discovery tool that works for Jellyfin, Plex, or MB servers. That's a pretty funny thing to call that. Request management and media discovery. Okay. MKV Toolnix is a set of tools to create, alter, and inspect Matroska files. Gee, I wonder why you would need that. And Key is a fast and powerful BitTorrent web UI. There's also more coming over the next several weeks, and they wanted me to talk about AnyRaid. So there's a webinar on June 25th that if you're into like ZFS RAID, you might want to actually check out. So Alan Jude of Clara Inc. and John Panazzo of Eshtek, creator of HexOS, will be hosting a joint webinar to discuss ZFS AnyRaid. So how it works is it improves improves storage space efficiency, and you can learn more on the Clara website about how it differs from traditional RAID Z. Also, buddy backups. You know how that was one of my key conditions for this thing being a thing that I will financially back? There's a timeline. The team has been focused on buddy backups since the 1.0 release. Things are going quicker than anticipated, and they're hoping for Q3 of this year. So sometime in the next 3.5 months, buddy backups. So I just want to explain what buddy backups are. Pretty much, you have a buddy, like this is my buddy. You both have a HexOS NAS, and you can both install some extra storage in each other's servers, and without uploading to any cloud or going to anybody else's service, you can send an encrypted copy that is stored on your buddy's server. You can allocate that storage to each other so that you don't go over the quota that you set. And you can have a secure, safe, off-site backup on hardware that you or your buddy controls and nobody else needs to look at or touch. And really the magic is not in doing that. That's something that you could do today with open source free tools. You could totally set up something like that literally tonight in your spare time. But the part that is a little bit harder is doing so without opening ports and without going through a bunch of networking tomfoolery and command line configuration. So this is like click and go, which is pretty exciting. Amaria says, as long as my buddy can't see it. Yes, that is absolutely critical, is that it would be encrypted such that only you know what you have backed up to your buddy's system. Also, they asked me to flag that a lifetime pricing increase is coming soon. The $199 price point is coming to an end. No exact date, but likely in Q3. They need to deploy a new e-commerce solution to replace the blah, 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 blah. Once that's done, lifetime will be going to $299. So just watch out for that. All right, that's it. There you go, John. I did your thing. It's legitimately really exciting stuff. I'm really stoked for Buddy Backup, and the app curations and the one-touch setup looks like honestly awesome. Like setting up Plex isn't even that hard for me now. I've done it enough times. I've done it enough times that it's like fine. I know how to do it, but it's tedious. I'd rather not. If I could just click one button and it's done. And all I have to do is just, put my movies in my movies folder and put my pictures in my pictures folder, and then it'll just do it for me. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, shoot. Sammy demands Floatplane announcement. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sammy. I totally forgot about you.
Before you do that,
all right, get wrecked,
people
Sammy.
are pointing out potential liability risks of the buddy backup thing.
We've talked about this in the past. If it's an encrypted copy, I just don't really see.
Yeah, if you genuinely, truthfully have no way to access it, and it's encrypted, I could see like if they end up getting investigated for something, they might like seize your drive.
Yeah.
Which would suck, obviously.
Yeah.
They might seize your whole server.
So you should probably only do this with buddies. But I mean, by this logic, if you uploaded an encrypted file with incriminating media to Google Drive, like, is Google criminally liable for this? I don't think so. So am I missing something here?
I that's kind of where. Yes, they are. They aren't.
They would have no way of knowing if it's encrypted. Yeah, I think people are not fully understanding what encrypted means a little bit. If it's an encrypted container file and you upload it to Google, they don't know what's in it.
They're saying they can be compelled to turn it over.
Sure, but turn it over to what? Unless it can be decrypted, then it's a blob of ones and zeros.
1 second. Hello. Oh, thank you.
So he tried angrily complaining we haven't done Floatplane announcement. Now he's trying buttering you up to do Floatplane announcement. Which one's going to work?
He is, yeah. I think we should do the Floatplane announcement.
I think we should.
Thanks, Sammy.
Have you ever wondered what our travel weeks look like? Sammy vlogged his entire week in Taiwan from the immediate airport. I don't know what immediate. Oh, from the immediate airport to ASUS shoot to. I don't know what he's talking about. What a week at LMG looks like. Wait, is this the one? No, this is an old one. Sammy, what the crap is this link? What are you talking about? You put the wrong link. I think he's editing it now. I see his cursor in here. Is that Sammy? No, that's Dan. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. So he vlogged his entire week from airport to ASUS shoot to going out for dinner with Taryn and Luke, who tried stinky tofu for the first time. So if you're into how we get videos done, then this vlog is for you. But maybe you're more into Linux. Bam! We have some stuff that was taken out of the Part 4 Linux Challenge video, just ended up on the cutting room floor. So we've got some extra from there. We will also have a video fully showcasing Linus's motorcycle shooting soon. So let us know what you want to see from it. Linus hasn't agreed to do this video, but I'm volunteering him to do this video. lmg.gg/fpwan. Yvonne did shoot me. Oh, I forgot to bring that. Oh, I forgot to bring that phone for Glenn today. Oh, crap. Well, I will do it on Monday. Yvonne shot me going to pick it up, Sammy, so you'll be able to use that for whatever it is that you're doing. Sammy says, this is what happens when you write the doc at 7 a.m.
I added in the link for you, Sammy.
Okay. Here's the proper link to the proper vlog. There you go. What a week at LMG looks like. Sammy POV Taiwan edition. What's going on in this? What are we looking at here? Oh, they're trying to show the fan working using like hair. I eventually figured it out by just ripping a bigger clump of hair out of my head. So if you watch that video, they were trying to shoot one hair, and it was really hard. But I was like, no, guys, you just need more hair. So I just like grabbed a whole thing of hair out of my head, and then it worked pretty good. Here, let me see if I can find it. It's a pretty cool video, actually. If you guys haven't seen it, you definitely want to check out the ionic cooling video. This perfectly silent fan took 300 years to make. Oh my God, ads. Well, I can't believe Roundup is legal again. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't really understand what it was, and I went a little ham with Roundup attacking weeds on our lawn when I was a teenager, and destroy-immolated it. My mom she came out then a day or 2 days later, it acts really fast. She was like, what the f*** is going on? The lawn is dead. Yeah, anyway. I was mostly a good kid. All right, should we start After Dark?
After Dark?
Yeah.
Yes.
See if I can find it. Maybe they didn't put it in the edit. Maybe it was too gross. If someone has a timestamp, let me know. Otherwise, I give up. Hit me, Dan.
Sure thing. Are you guys excited for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake officially being teased for later this year? And Luke, do you plan on finally having something to play on your Switch 2?
The thing that is finally going to be playable on my Switch 2 is that game that is a remake from my childhood.
Yeah, the game that already came out.
Yeah, really. I had no idea that was coming. That actually does sound pretty cool. That was a sick game. I feel like it would still be really fun. Haven't played it in a billion years, so it might be fun to run through again. I'm sure I remember a lot of it, but also don't remember a lot of it. So, yeah.
I was not an Ocarina of Time kid. I didn't have an N64. My friend had an N64, but I'm going to go to my friend's house and I'm going to sit and play single player games. That's not cool. So I have tried to play Ocarina of Time on at least 3 occasions. I think I actually own it for Virtual Console on my Wii. And I tried it at least a couple times there, and I tried it at least once emulated, and I just haven't managed to get into it. I have played through Link to the Past. I have played through most of The Legend of Zelda, like the NES one. I've played through Phantom Hourglass. I've played through Twilight Princess. I've played through Breath of the Wild. I'm like, actually, as far as game franchises go, I'm as much into Zelda as I am into any franchise, and I just couldn't Ocarina of Time. I'm so sorry to my fellow Zelda faithful.
Question for Linus. When Dbrand wants to do a sponsor with certain stunts, like the box of glass with a phone in it, do they tell the team or get any approval?
Yeah, I genuinely typically don't know about it. Which, there's good things about that, and there's also somewhat irritating things about that sometimes. Like, there's been stuff that I've had to be like, yeah, no. Not very often, especially now that, we understand each other pretty well, but it has happened. So, make of that what you will.
Hello from Edmonton.
Hi, Edmonton.
I drive a garbage truck. They have recently installed AI nanny cameras into our trucks. I find they encourage dangerous habits. I worry insurance could start demanding them. Thoughts?
Dangerous habits? I would love to hear more about what potential dangerous habits a nanny camera could encourage. Because I'm sure I believe you.
That's gross, but yeah, I don't know.
Like, I genuinely believe you, but I'm having a hard time imagining what that might be. I really wish I could have a little bit more context here.
Maybe if you're operating too slowly, it gets mad at you.
I could see that.
You're not reaching production quotas. Also, quotas have increased this week. Get owned.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not sure though. I don't know.
Oh man. Okay, so this is about to go a little bit off the rails here because my immediate knee-jerk reaction is like, yeah, nanny camera's terrible. And then that made me think of like something that I was going to post as a tweet or something. I was just going to do and obviously it's an observation that's been made many, many times, but I wanted to post a picture of the pedal well of my Uber driver, and there would be a brake pedal and then just like an on-off toggle switch on the gas pedal. And I was thinking as I was sitting, getting like violently nauseous in the back of a cabin or of an Uber in Taiwan, that ironically had one of those. Did you ever see those rule signs in the back of the Ubers there that will say like no smoking, no whatever, no throwing up? There's some that say no barfing. It's like, bro, I wouldn't be choosing to vomit, but if you're going to drive like this, you're really putting me in a pretty awkward position. Anyway, it was occurring to me as I was sitting in the back of this Uber, not able to do anything other than stare out the front windscreen and hope that I'm not going to throw up, that it would be so easy for Uber to fix this problem by just using the fucking accelerometer data that's already in the phone that the Uber driver absolutely has to have, and just logging that and being like, hey, you need to chill the fuck out on the brake pedal and the gas pedal so that your passenger doesn't throw up in the back of your car. Like, honestly, my driver to the airport was insane, and then I had at least 2 while I was in Taipei that just like crazy.
Why did you take a car to the airport?
Sorry?
Why'd you take a car to the airport?
Because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper than the train?
Yeah, if I'm gone for like 7 days. Wait, sorry, what are you asking? I'm supposed to take the train to the airport? From my house?
Oh, I thought you meant, sorry. I thought you meant from the hotel in Taipei to the airport.
No. No, from in Vancouver.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, so once I'm gone for like I think the threshold is 5 days or something like that. If I'm gone for more than 5 days, then it's cheaper
then
to
the
Uber
parking
there and
ends up
back.
being so expensive. No,
Yeah.
I got you. I thought you. Yeah. My
Okay.
bad.
Anyway, so you have the GeForce data from the phone, and then also another thing that just triggered the crap out of me is I went to leave like a 3-star review because realistically we didn't crash, they didn't like kill me, but also I was feeling really sick, and you know how it prompts you. It's like, okay, well, what was the issue? Nausea is not in there. How is it that with such a like universal meme, Uber drivers and their ridiculous acceleration and braking, how is it that is not in there as an issue with your ride? That's crazy. It has to be intentional. There is no way that that's not intentional.
It's weird that that's a known thing, because you'd think that would be worse for gas and worse for car maintenance.
I don't get it, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't seem that complicated to make small adjustments to the gas pedal. I mean, and maybe part of it is just that I've been married to someone with like serious motion sickness issues for 1,000 years. And so I just automatically adjust my driving style when I have a passenger. Like when I'm in my car on my own or whatever, I don't care. I'll just open it up, right? Like who cares? It's me. I'm not going to get sick driving my own car. But when I have a passenger, I'm like trying to be smooth about it. And I guess maybe they just like never had anybody tell them. I don't know. It just seems like they do care about a lot of passenger issues. Why is nausea not one of them when it's just such a meme?
My son listens to the show with me, and your videos have him interested in tech and programming, but I worry about him watching other online content from tech bros. Any suggestions for young enthusiasts?
Man, this is one of those classic questions people ask me that I just really don't know the answer to, because the truth is I just don't consume a lot of YouTube. Sorry. Wendell? Wendell's like the most wholesome person that I know. Level 1 Techs is a little technical, but like he also explains things really well.
Yes.
I figure if you watch enough Level 1 Techs, eventually you'll have some idea what the heck he's talking about.
This was a young enthusiast of what? Linux, was it?
No, just tech and programming.
Tech and programming. I don't think Wendell goes over programming much.
But tech?
Tech, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of the YouTubers I watched when I was trying to learn programming, I don't know if they're even still around. Let me see if I can... If they are still...
Maxwell in Floatplane chat says Hacksmith, Mark Rober, Michael Reeves, the one YouTube Shorts guy. Is that what they're actually called, or are you just memeing? Oh,
A lot of
Mandy
stuff
says
that he just mentioned is very fun on the entertainment side of things, but not necessarily the education side of things.
technology connections. Sure. Oh yeah, Bent Bob says Lori Wired. That's a cool place to hang out.
Definitely, that one would be really good, especially for inspiration.
Yeah. Okay, there's a few good ones.
I haven't watched this channel since I went to BCIT, so it's been a hot minute. But I used to watch the New Boston for Java tutorials a million years
Oh
ago.
my god, that's a name I haven't heard in 1,000 years.
Do you recognize that name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, Java Programming Tutorial 1, installing the SDK from 17 years ago has 6.8 million views.
Oh, Ani Hekaj has another really good one. Branch Education is amazing.
Oh, branch education is sick.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
That should be enough to keep them busy until it's time for you to order something else from the store.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, hit me, Dan.
Hey, Luke and Linus, my boss is the executive at my work, and I spend a lot of time ensuring he gets all his tasks done. As executives yourselves, do you have any insight how I can manage this better? Vance? Vance, are you still here?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person. I mean, making sure that the calendar is like set up with realistic amounts of time for things, I think is really helpful.
Yeah, consider travel time when booking things.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
Try not to actually book things exactly back to back all the time, because sometimes the brain needs a little bit of a reset, or you need to grab a water or go to the washroom, or there's travel time involved or something. I find a lot of my days I end up like pushing meetings back just constantly to the point where it's like almost a meme. And one of the reasons why is because I'll have like 6 hours straight of meetings with 0 breaks between them that often do involve some form of like travel time or something else.
And all
it's
of
just
them
like,
run
this,
over.
This is quite literally impossible. Like yeah.
Be cognizant of decision fatigue. I'm going to use the horrible AI overview. Here we go. A state of mental exhaustion caused by making repeated choices throughout the day. And every decision contributes to it. It's actually really interesting. It was something that I experienced for a lot longer than I knew what it was. But like, it was always very obvious to me that I should not think about my wardrobe at all in the morning. I should simply grab whatever t-shirt is at the top of my pile and whatever pants are at the top of my pile and just put them on, because I don't have room in my brain to think about that, and then also all the other things that I need to think about in a given day. And so it manifests in like weird ways. Like when I'm having a really intense morning already, like Vance will ask me like, hey, do you want me to get something for you and for lunch? And I'll be like, and I can't think of what to eat. And so that's just, it's obviously a super first world problem, but finding ways to manage out pointless decisions that don't matter, so that they have mental capacity left for things that actually do have an impact on the business is something that I would say would be helpful.
Yeah.
Hi, Linus. As a fellow lover of soup dumplings, I saw you went to Din Tai Fung at Computex. I've only been to one in the US, and I'm wondering if it's the same in North America. Have you ever tried it in Canada?
I haven't. I think they mean California.
We actually have one.
We have one?
Yeah.
Where?
I looked earlier. It was Alberni?
Port
Maybe?
Alberni has
No.
a Din Tai Fung.
No, the street.
No, Alberni Street.
Oh.
It's in Vancouver.
Oh, that's hilarious. Vancouver.
It is on Alberni Street, yeah. Is that the same one? Is it like a
It's
chain?
the same company.
It's a
Is
chain,
it?
yeah.
Locations.
As far as my understanding goes,
Oh.
it is, yeah.
It's the same as all the other North America ones, but I don't see any actual Taiwan locations here. Din Tai Fung, North America. I don't actually know if this is the same company. Man, this is, I'm going to get canceled for this for sure. Din Tai Fung is overrated. There, I said it.
I was excited to try it. I love dumplings.
I didn't say it's bad. By all means, try it. But
If
there's
it's not the best thing ever, it's the worst, obviously.
well,
That's how it works.
no.
Is it overrated? Is it overrated because you've probably, I'm not exaggerating at all, had it 50 plus times?
No, I've only been to Din Tai Fung, I think, twice.
Ever?
Yeah.
There's no way. I've been with you to Din Tai Fung more than 2 times.
Okay. Every time I've gone, I was with you then. Like, I've never gone there of, like, my own accord.
Okay.
So, like, 3 times
yeah,
then.
I mean, almost
Like, the soup dumplings at the hole in the wall down the road from our hotel are better. Just straight up
Yes.
better.
No, that's true. That is a really good spot.
Like, I
have had xiaolongbao
And cheap.
and other soup dumplings at a variety of other places in Taiwan that are worse.
and Din Tai
But
Fung.
one of the problems with Din Tai Fung is that it is not the best. It's really solid and it's very consistent. But
And
it's
it's
not the best.
really
It's also
expensive.
very expensive compared to pretty much
It's
everywhere else.
so expensive. Like, I pay practically nothing for those ones down the street. I watch them make them. They taste freaking incredible. And then Din Tai Fung is like, it's fine. And to be clear, I didn't say bad. I just
They're
said
solid. They're good.
overrated. Because people just like cream their freaking pants talking about how amazing Din Tai Fung is. And I'm like, yeah, it's good, but like, it better be the best thing ever at that price and with that reputation and with that long of a wait to get into it.
Yeah, like I know people say like, oh, if you're coming to Taipei, you have to get Din Tai Fung.
No, you
I would
don't.
say no. If you're going to Taipei, you should get really good soup dumplings.
Yes.
Some really good xiaolongbao.
Yeah, and like I've had better beef
variety
noodles.
of places you can get that
I've had
from.
better beef noodles like many, many times. I would say Din Tai Fung is like a solid B- for beef noodles.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like it's
Everything there other than their dumplings are kind of whatever.
it's
in my
fine.
opinion. Yeah. It's also incredibly consistent. I don't know if I've been basically anywhere that's as consistent as Din Tai Fung is. Which makes it pretty good. It's highly unoffensive and it's extremely consistent. So it makes it pretty good for like meetings.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of
large groups.
Westerner friendly. Like they have something
Yeah.
to eat for the people in your party
Basically everyone.
that don't eat seafood or whatever.
It's one of the easiest things to be like, oh, we have like 10 people and we all need to get dinner. What is a place we can all agree on? And usually that place does work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for whoever feels like answering. Do you guys ever think we will have a solution for kernel level anti-cheat on Linux? If yes, what can it be? Will I ever see LOL or BF running on Arch, by the way?
Okay, I got an absolute wall of text about our discussion regarding anti-cheat on Linux a couple of weeks ago
Whoa.
from someone who was very upset about it. Like, seriously. I'm still going. And
I got some of my stuff taken pretty dramatically out of context on that topic.
basically the take was there's really good tools in Linux for managing all of this, and it wouldn't be necessary to have kernel level anti-cheat on Linux because of like how well managed it is. But I acknowledge that no current distro has actually implemented this level of lockdown that would give developers the confidence to do it. So it's maybe something for it to figure out later or something. I read the whole thing, but it was like a week ago or something like that. When did I read this? Yeah, I read this about a week ago. And I was just like, okay, so basically nothing that Luke or I said about the unlikelihood of this happening due to the very open nature of Linux is actually untrue, because the Linux crowd is very own your hardware, do whatever you want with your hardware. Oh, by the way, also your software too. The likelihood of this kind of a distro existing seems very low.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The cheating situation is really, really bad right now. All shooter games are rampant with it. Usually, when shooter games have an open beta for a weekend, people are found rage cheating on that one weekend. Like it's wild. Shooter games are basically cooked. Counter-Strike lobbies are just riddled with cheaters all the time. There was a massive ban wave recently. I was all pissed over Tarkov years ago. And then, lo and behold, it just turned out it's every shooter game just has cheaters everywhere. They're also highly prevalent in like basically every other game. Cheating is really brutal and really rampant right now, and it's honestly like ruining competitive multiplayer gaming.
Are you sure you're not just Unk?
Actually, yes. The cheating situation is way worse than ever. The reason why the cheating situation is way worse than ever is because money is highly involved now.
There's so much
and
money
the problem,
in it, which is crazy.
The only reason why I'm sure not just Unk, to be clear, because I could be, is because I watch people like Shroud. I think I talked about this on WAN Show before.
Yeah.
Shroud went back and played Counter-Strike.
Are you sure Shroud's not
normal
Unk?
servers. Shroud is not Unk. Shroud is still a god.
I'm just kidding, Shroud. I'm just kidding.
When Shroud stops being a god, I'll probably be dead. But Shroud went back and played Counter-Strike on normal servers, and there was a cheater in like literally every lobby he was in. Like it's actually just, it's insane. So it's a touchy subject, and having worse anti-cheat on Linux when the situation is as bad as it is, can suck for some people, especially when it's an uneven playing field of anti-cheat, if that makes sense, where you can play the game on Windows or Linux, but the Linux one has like less anti-cheat than the Windows one does, which could bring a bad reputation to Linux, because then there's a higher chance, a higher perceived chance that the cheaters might be running Linux. I don't know. It's a tough situation. I also am highly acutely aware that these kernel level anti-cheats exist in the environment of, oh my god, we've never seen this many cheaters before. So clearly they're not working anyways. It's a tough spot. I think there's a lot of people that don't want kernel level anti-cheat coming to Linux, and I can sure understand that. That would blow. I don't know how we solve the cheating problem. I know that right now, the main way that anti-cheat systems are getting on Linux is they're just more lax than they are on Windows. Or at least I believe that's what's happening. Again, I don't really know if it matters that much if most of these cheats are getting around these systems anyways. So...
Just to clarify from my wall of text, nothing would prevent a regular distro and game developers from implementing it. But with all that context, and there was a lot, I'd say you might even be right in that who knows if companies will want to put in the time to make these things work. Yeah. So, I just don't...
Immortal is saying... I think cheaters... Sorry, I think we've got some lag issues. I think cheaters are also spoofing being on Linux to get a lower anti-cheat even when they're on Windows. I don't know. It's just, again, I don't even know if it matters. Like, we have this insane cheating problem, and we have kernel-level anti-cheat. So it's like, I don't know if it helps.
I was reading an article recently saying it's going to move like even higher up the... I forget what even space we're in above kernel.
Lower?
Hold on. There's no way I'm going to be able to find this article right now. Forget it.
Yeah, Denrix is saying BF6 had like a day one of beta cheat There's someone else saying that Arc Raiders is a rampant cheating problem right now. It's what I'm finding is with basically every shooter game, you have to wait for, like with Tarkov, you have to basically wait for a wipe, and then you can play for a couple months, and then it gets too bad. With other games, you have to wait for like a ban wave or some major release, and then you can play for a little bit, and then it will get too bad. It's like the gaps between ban waves are basically just unplayable. And it's kind of interesting because it's making this like cycle of first-person shooter games where people will jump from game to game in between these ban waves. And like, what an insane situation.
Griffon says firmware anti-cheat. Yeah, I think it was like at the firmware level, but I forget how they were trying to implement that. I forget what that was supposed to look like. And I don't want to get anything wrong, but it was like even deeper embedded into the system, and I forget what the kind of plan was, what the direction we were going was. And I mean, again, all of this is sort of it's an arms race that can never be won, because in the age of machine vision and robotic arms, which is coming, you will be able to cheat without any software installed on the system at all. At some point, if you build a perfect anti-cheat, someone will build a robot arm that emulates the slight, movement of a human hand, but then just moves as quickly as possible to... I don't understand why people even want this. As someone who just plays games for the fun of actually competing against people, I don't understand why people are paying for this. But if someone will pay for a software that moves the crosshair to their opponent, then I see no reason why they wouldn't also pay for a hardware that moves their mouse across their mouse pad that moves the crosshair to the opponent. It seems... And
they will pay a ton of money for that thing that you don't understand why they would pay for it. Some of these cheats are incredibly expensive and a subscription basis as well. That was uncovered when people were diving into the Tarkov stuff. People are paying hundreds of dollars a month.
Charge Nuclei says, just pay a better player to play the game for you. I mean, only trillionaires can afford that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that also happens.
Some more for you.
Yeah, hit me.
Hi, bad cholesterol. Luke, any cool techie tours you've been on that you can talk about?
Techie tours? Yes, absolutely. I don't know how much I can say about them. We got to see Intel's performance testing lab. That was really cool. We got to see some stuff at Qualcomm. That was really cool. We got to see, more recently, some of the people from the lab went down to Puget Systems to see some of their lab stuff, similar to ours, and talk shop for a while. That was really awesome. It was interesting to see kind of the differences, because they have a different use case for their lab than ours. They're mostly interested in testing hardware that they will be selling, if that makes sense. So there's kind of a narrower scope of the things that they need to test. They're also testing patches of things to see if anything major changes or if things break or whatever. So it's very, very interesting. Different goals, but very interesting. What can I really say about them? It's been very surprising to me. Ooh. Gotta frame this in the right way. Yeah, it's been very surprising to me how close tech YouTubers are to some of these really big companies in regards to their testing capabilities.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize how advanced the tech YouTube space was, to be completely honest. I was expecting walking into some of these big companies, seeing their performance testing labs and evaluation labs, and having my brain explode. And I walked in there and was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I recognize most of this. There was some weird stuff. I'm going to start getting more vague about where we were because I'm talking about areas that I wasn't able to bring a camera. But there was some stuff that got into like the radio side of things, like wireless technologies, that got a little like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And testing of like cameras and camera software and stuff that also got pretty outside of the wheelhouse of what I've seen from obviously us included, but tech YouTubers in general. But in regards to like standard performance.
Yep.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk into like a failure analysis lab, you're going to see single pieces of equipment that are worth more than our entire lab, including the building. But
yeah, like we ain't doing that. There's some stuff, but when we're talking about performance testing,
measuring frame rates,
yeah,
they're at the mercy of software providers like Maxon, the same way that we are, to provide a usable benchmark. Yeah, it's an industry-wide challenge.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Message to Linus. How happy were you when Apple admitted that iOS 26 was slow and buggy, proving that it wasn't a skill issue?
Listen, I knew it wasn't a skill issue already because like I didn't do anything and it would just have all these problems. But I don't know. The Apple faithful who just like glaze them endlessly are never gonna, even when Apple themselves says it, they'll find a way to excuse it. I wasn't even giving Apple a particularly hard time about it. I basically was just like, I expect more from Apple. This is as bad as like a buggy Android release, and I got like crucified for it. So yeah, I knew I was right because I had so many bad experiences with it, and Yvonne is like fed up at this point. She asked me to get her an Android. We almost went shopping for it in Taiwan, and then the tech mall that we were at didn't have any phone stores. So we were going to just shoot an impromptu video of me buying a phone for her, but there were no stores.
Man, she might like the Xperia.
Dude, I ain't buying no Xperia. Do you have seen how much those cost? I could buy her jewelry for that kind of money.
Oh yeah, they are crazy expensive,
Yeah,
aren't
really
they?
expensive.
What's up with that, man? Damn.
They're good. Shut.
It's so expensive though.
That's why you buy last year's model or get one from a coworker. I still haven't wiped it. I got it caught up because my Steam guard was still on the old one, and if I hadn't have done that, it would have been absolutely hooped.
Oh geez.
Edzim, no, there is no difference between high-end and low-end Apple devices, and I'm not definitely right about the lower end of things. I had the latest iPhone. What are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about.
Stop. Just stop engaging.
Yeah, move on.
Move on.
Next one.
Hi, LL and D. The IT department of the school I work at is restricting the use of MuseScore because it's open source. How would you explain or convince someone the safety of a long-established project?
Point at their phone. If they run an Android, you say, hey, that's based on the AOSP, an open source project. You need to relax. Like, what are they talking about?
They are in the pocket of Sibelius.
What's MuseScore? I'm assuming this is some music thing.
Yeah, it's a music notation software.
Okay. They banned it
Free
because it's
sheet
open
music
source.
catalog.
That is the worst, dude.
MuseScore is
What are we talking about?
pretty dang.
Tell them to ask an AI. Wait, this is the IT department. They should know better.
That's what makes it so
this
good.
is-
So
This is
no.
bothering me a
No.
lot,
There's some other reason that is not the real reason, and they're just not telling you the real reason. So you may never be able to find out the real reason, but until you know the real reason, you won't be able to make any argument or explain anything. So that's the situation you're in right now. There's no way that an IT department at a school who knows enough about IT to be running the IT department at a school does not know about open source. Like, there's just no way.
Not knowing what MuseScore was, I thought I misinterpreted that for a second, and they banned the use of MuseScore because there was some other open source one that they wanted you to use, and that would have made like more sense to me as a educational institution. But my school IT department gave us all local admin. That's fun. Maybe they just wanted you to learn things rapidly. Yeah, okay, next one.
Hello, LDL. Watching today while painting my nursery for my first kid due this month. Any DIY painter tips / first-time dad advice?
Well, don't mix up the paint with the babies. Babies and paint are not a good combination. So I think it's great that you're, due this month. Oh, dude. You needed to paint this like a month ago. The fumes are not going to be good. You need to get on it, finish it this weekend, and then run a fan in there, like continuously. Don't put the baby in there for a little bit. So there's one. I got one for you. There's a tip. What else we got here? Yeah, it's good enough.
Yep. Hello, LD and lowercase l. With how easy AI generation of creators has become, what advice do you have for femme creators to protect themselves?
I wish I could offer some advice on that. I don't know how to protect ourselves. I think I mentioned this last WAN show, but I was chatting with an automotive creator, and they were saying like, oh yeah, no, like AI generated slop is like a real challenge for our space. And I was like, sorry, why? And they were basically just like, because you can just generate cars doing like crazy stunts, and people at the end of the day, it's zero sum, right? Like people have a finite amount of eyeball time per day. And every minute they spend looking at AI slop of, a goat car, drifting around a supermodel or whatever, is time that they're not spending looking at the content that was made by real people with, real cars or whatever. And it was something that I hadn't really thought about enough. I'm aware of the concept of that, like when the Super Bowl is on, actually YouTube viewership goes down, I know these things, but the scale at which this just sort of generated garbage content is being produced now like the Super Bowl running all the time compared to, something running all the time, taking that attention away from, real life creators. And I don't have good advice for how to safeguard ourselves from AI and from generated content in any form, whether it's just broad challenges of attention being sucked away, or whether it's more specifically, femme niche or tech niche or car niche or whatever niche it is.
I think being explicit with your audience about what you're okay with and what you're not is genuinely helpful. Like you've made it clear a number of times that you're actually not cool with your AI likeness being used. Your audience can be surprisingly helpful in these situations of just because you can't be everywhere, but people that know what you're okay with can be many places. I don't know, weird sentence, but as long as those people can point it out, as long as those people can report it, it can be really helpful. I've seen it before, so yeah.
Couple more for you. Hey Linus, are there ever any hardware stuff that you fear will be taken off the market or scalped because of a shout out you've made?
Yeah, sure. I actually checked this one ahead of time, and I had a couple ready for you. I'm a big fan of the Roccat Sova lap board. It's, in my opinion, the best lap board.
Oh, yeah, we have them all over the place here.
Well, it's because I bought a couple of them because I knew that Roccat was going away and it was discontinued. And these are both parts only for $55 and $85 respectively. Okay, I might have already done it then. They used to be a little easier to get your hands on. I have like 3 of them just in case they die. And then another one is Optane. Dude, Optane is goated, and feels especially relevant today. If only Intel and Micron could have held it together long enough to meet the demands of the AI boom. They would literally not be able to keep Optane on the shelf right now. the demand would be astronomical. And it would also have been such a huge competitive advantage for their server hardware that would be compatible with like Optane DIMMs and stuff. Like, oh my God, Optane was it was like the biggest missed opportunity of the last 10 years in tech, in my opinion. Okay, that's a huge statement, but it's up there. It's up there from like a financial standpoint. The missed opportunity here is like, man, Intel just can't miss an opportunity to miss over the last little bit, and Optane was by far the biggest one.
And last one I got for you. Hey, Linus, what is your opinion on the new Final Fantasy Resonance that was recently announced?
My only opinion on it is that it's finally time, once it comes out, for me to play these damn games. I refuse to play part one of a series before the rest of it. I still have not read Game of Thrones because I am waiting for George R.R. Martin to finish writing these damn books, which it seems like he will never do. I read the first one, and then I was like, wait, he's not done writing them? F*** that. And I stopped reading them. And
it's so funny.
I'll wait.
I bought a box set of them and then realized he wasn't done writing it, so never opened it.
Why are we so similar?
I was hearing you describe this, and then like the same series. Oh, that was pretty good. Oh man.
For what it's worth, the first book's great.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys. That's all
I don't like getting into shows that aren't done either.
I procrastinated through the entire Game of Thrones TV series, and I felt so good that I was behind the entire curve.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got.
All right. That's all I got then. We will see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Are we going to manage to both be here in studio next week? I think it's been almost a month.
I'm there in studio.
I think
Are
I'm
you there
here.
in studio? Nice.
I think we're all here then. All right. Good stuff.
Nice.
See you guys
Bye.
there.